Match in the 1999 AFL Premiership season proudly brought to you by AAMI, Cadbury, Mitre 10, Ultra Tune and Sip and Save.
Well, it's been a sensational day in Adelaide, and it's now going to be a sensational night as we welcome you to Sunday night football. A top temperature today earlier of around 27 degrees. It's like the middle of summer. It's a balmy night here in Adelaide tonight. A wonderful night for the fans to come out to Football Park, and they're doing it in their thousands as they make it towards the ground to see the dual premiers in action up against the St Kilda Football Club. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is a game we have been looking forward to. The Adelaide Crows up against St Kilda on a Sunday night, and with us behind the microphone, one of the legends of days gone by, but he's happy to be here tonight. Jared Healy, welcome, G.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, it should be a great game. A repeat of the 97 grand final, both sides coming off a win last week, and I think this is going to be a very close encounter.
Hasn't been a happy hunting ground for St Kilda. We turned the clock back to 95. They came here, they made 12 changes. So they had rookies everywhere. They managed just 3 goals tonight. They got belted, but it wasn't all good news either for the Crows.
No, disastrous for the Saints on the scoreboard. Tony Hall kicking one of their many goals. But for the Crows, we saw the initial demise of the knee, the famous knee of Sean Wren. Both stars there, Peter Everett and Sean Wren, absent tonight, but for very different reasons.
Sean Wren gone in 95, and the big men, I'm afraid to say, in the AFL are still tumbling, but we've got some stars in action. Let's have a look at some of the marquee matchups and what we can expect here to unfold at Football Park tonight.
Yes, I'll be right around the ground, the marquee matchups, but both sides have emerging stars who are in good early season form, and I think for Adelaide, James Tyson has been electrifying on a wing, had many kicks last week against the Hawks, and for St Kilda, Jason Trianides looks to have matured under new coach Tim Watson, and they're the new players, but at the other end of the scale, there's also the gun midfielders for each team. So Mark Rasciuto, well, he attacks the ball like few before him. He's built like a pit bull, and you cross him at your own peril in the midfield. And what about the superstar Rob Harvey, the dual Brownlow medals? He'll be looking for some goals here just to add a touch to his midfield effectiveness.
Pumped up for this one. It's Sunday night, 40,000 fans locked in at Football Park, and all the action of the first quarter is coming your way right after this break.
From 7 Nightly News, here's Shirley Harris with tonight's weather.
Hello again. We can expect another beautiful day across the state tomorrow, with some cloud in the far west late in the day. On local waters, southeast to northeast winds reaching 7 to 12 knots in the afternoon. In the city, fine, warm and sunny with a top of 28 degrees after an overnight low of 14. Looking ahead, dropping down slightly to 24 on Tuesday and cooling down again on Wednesday with a possibility of a few showers. Good night.
Sarah Homes are the design innovators for holiday homes, weekenders and country homes. Whether you wish to build at the beach, by the river or as a rural retreat, from around $30,000, Sarah Homes can tailor build a home to suit your specific requirements. Picture a Sarah Homes retreat on your piece of paradise. Call 8243 0388 for a Sarah Homes brochure today.
What would put you in front of your own home? a home loan rate of 5.19% from Bank SA.
There's no better choice when it comes to car insurance.
The band that defined heavy metal music is Deep Purple. After 30 years, Deep Purple are back with a vengeance. Don't miss Deep Purple live from Machine Head to their latest release, Abandon. Live and loud for one night only. Tickets on sale from February 8.
This feature presentation from Seven Sport continues our 43-year association with the AFL.
It's a wonderful sight, a full house here at Football Park, one of the great sights in sport, and they are officially pumped. I can tell you that as I welcome Dougie Hawkins to the microphone. Looking forward to this one, Doug.
Absolutely, Sandy. Jared, absolute ripper game. Adelaide last week were great, and so were the Saints. Going to be a ripper game, this one.
Matchups completed. At half-time, we'll be speaking with Danny Frawley, of course, the Collingwood's reserves coach. The Magpies in trouble, still looking for their first win of the season. And Danny Frawley will be answering the questions at half-time. But right now, we're set to go here at Football Park. Round 3 continues.
And it looks like it's going to be Tim Elliott to take over the rucking duties from Peter Everett.
Quickly down to the boundary line. Different curls. Good evening.
Nice to be with you, Sandy. Boys, girls, your home ground. What's going on?
Great conditions down here. Promise there'll be a fantastic match.
Here we go. Tim Elliott is pumped up in the middle. He's doing the ruck work. Tony Francis tries to get it out of the centre. He does so. A chance now for the Saints to go forward. In fact, the advantage is paid. It finishes with Harvey. He goes wide to the outer side. That's okay. Finds Gavin Mitchell. Still 75 metres out from goal. Mitchell looks down towards the forward line. A congested area, a bit of pushing and shoving. Hinckley was the meat in the sandwich on that occasion. Hinckley goes again. Pressure on the defence of the Adelaide Crows. Ben Hart has been excellent, and he is the meat in the sandwich there again.
Well, St Kilda really turned their season around last week with a big win at Waverley against the Demons. They did it primarily by getting the ball out of the centre, and after the first bounce, they cleared it beautifully.
Towards half-back, Jason Traianides couldn't take it in the first attempt. Butters up nicely for the second. Off he goes to Nathan Burke. St Kilda in attack towards full forward. Nigel Smart is there. Smart hurriedly onto his boot. Down towards Eccles. He's got it on half-back. Handled like a hot potato, but that's okay. Off to James. Now they're out of trouble. Bentley in towards the centre. At the back is Rockwood. The Crows go surging forward. McLeod has it. A left foot pass in towards full forward. No mark taken. Play on is the call. Kane Johnson is there. And there's going to be a free kick going the way of St Kilda. But a frantic opening, Jared.
Yes, physical opening. You'd expect that from both of these sides. They're here to they're here to play football. And Matthew Young was just scragged there and a legitimate free kick. Andrew Thompson, one of the keys for the Saints. He really has stepped up another notch in the first couple of games and allowed Rob Harvey just to float out to a wing.
And as well, Sandy and Jared, Damien Ryan has a job on mark with shooter. Big job for the youngster.
Elliott goes wide to Packett. No one on the mark. So he tries to crib a few metres towards Stephen Ziller. Ziller can run on. 35 metres out. Ziller shoots for goal for the Saints, but he's off target. First score of the night is a behind.
Once again, Nathan Burke playing in a back pocket, and he's picking up James for the Crows.
The Hound, Bassett, brings it back into play. Ben Hart has the ball. Curls interchange players.
Yeah, interchange for Adelaide, Costa, Binky, Gallagher, Wintle, and for Hawthorn, St Kilda, Brown, Jones, Baker, Walton.
They'll all get their chance a little bit later on as the Roo goes in. But the free kick had already been paid to Tony Francis. Settling nicely into his new club. Short to Elliott. Played on. Now is forced to pop it over the top into the middle of Jason Traianides. He recovers. He beats a couple. He scoots clear. 55 metres out. Kicks in towards full forward. Packett is lurking there, but so too is Hart. Jimmy's been busy early on and gets it off to Bassett. He's in trouble. Probably a little hand pass over the top. Finds it down towards half-back flank. They're going to be okay. Up towards Rodrow.
Just been struggling early in the season, Matty Rodrow. Had an interrupted pre-season, but off to a good start tonight.
Kicks towards half forward. No mark. Francis lurking once again. Prosciutto is there with Trianides. Harvey tries to get through some heavy traffic, and he does. They push it towards Lowe on centre wing. He takes the mark. Plays on to Francis. Another 25 metres to Joey McLaren. McLaren over the top to Trianides, picking up early touches, passes in the full forward. The Saints doing the bulk of the early attacking. Heatley's a long way out. It's a great kick. Scenery kick is a beauty as well. Wakeland has drifted down, and Darryl Wakeland will have a shot directly in front.
Yeah, he's the opponent to Robin at this stage. Robin's playing at centre half forward for the Adelaide side, and Wakeland just come down the ground. Good play. Great vision there by Heatley. Certainly could have went to the goal square, but saw Wakeland out in his own. Good play by Heatley.
Kicking from 35, Darryl Wakeland. Saints made a flying start against the Demons. Love is similar tonight. And the red, black and white flags go up at the back. He's kicked.
Recorded messages that keep you waiting on the phone.
Frustration and aggravation.
We compare the best companies and the worst, where you'll wait more than 20 minutes before you get through. Find out who it is Monday. On Today Tonight, drug dealers escaping from jail.
Here it is in black and white.
Our cameras catch them jumping the walls.
Public will be shocked.
Doing drug deals, climbing back in.
Unbelievable.
And getting away with it.
Easy to score inside and outside.
From 6 o'clock on 7.
Saints by 7 points. Adelaide yet to go deep into their attacking zone. Pittman, marvellous last week. Tonight it's a different ball game. Francis is a real little terrier. He's working hard at the bottom. Elliott comes away. I think there might have been a whistle. Goes on quickly towards Francis. He plays on towards half forward. McLaren again. Back again he goes to the little man. He's in trouble. First one way, then the other. Now more direct, in towards half forward. No mark taken. Big man Bustling was there. Couldn't do anything with it. Bassett may get claimed, but not before he gets the hand pass away. And Tyson Edwards on the end of it goes to the outer side. Atkinson is lurking there for the Crows. Pops it up towards McLeod on centre wing. Couldn't take it with the one hand. The door opens for Elliott as he slips it towards the line. That'll be a throw in.
Yeah, just think again, last week the back line of Adelaide was outstanding. You see that will be the same again.
And Darren Jarman playing at full forward for the Adelaide Crows, and he's been picked up by Max Hudson, who was named on interchange. But if you remember, his early season form last year was fantastic.
Harvey to half forward, Smart chops it off. Been a lot of talk about his footing, but he had no problems there in holding them. Nigel Smart in towards the centre of the ground. Robin, one of the targets. Eccles was there also. They jostle for it at the bottom.
And Doug, I think one of the keys to travelling interstate when it is going to be a big game is to get on the board early and keep the Crows crowd in particular a little bit silenced.
Jared, no doubt about that. I've played here probably 3 winning sides, 2 with Footscray, which are now the Western Bulldogs, and 1 with Fitzroy back in '95. Keep the crowd quiet.
Still 22 degrees, pretty warm here as Thompson goes to half forward and Big Bad takes it. Paul is at half forward, 50 metres out.
Good start to the Saints if Bustler could just put this one on the board. You see here Andrew Thompson, who really has become a top quality midfielder, kicked the ball long and direct, a one-out contest, and Hall has just got a bit of height advantage over Ben Hart.
Kicking eventually from 47 metres. Just about very good. That'll fire up the part-time boxer, part-time footballer, part-time excitement machine, really. Tyson Edwards in the back pocket. Heatley pulled back. Atkinson can swing it up towards Eccles on centre wing. Started with the Preston Knights. Now he kicks up towards Pittman in front of Elliott.
That's got to be 50.
Just about be 50 metres.
In fact, he did it pretty well there, David Pittman, because Tim Elliott overcommitted himself, but he could feel Elliott on his back, and he helped just drag him down, which forced the umpire to give him the 50, and now a shot at goal.
I wouldn't say that's one of the longest 50s either in the land.
And your thoughts are echoed by some 30,000 Crows supporters there.
That's why he's got it.
See there, just Pittman just hooking the hand over and dragging him down. Good smart play.
Good play by him.
Kicking from 52, going close to the man on the mark. in so doing pushes it slightly to the right. Crows on the board, however. They're down by 7 points.
Yeah, he was very good last week, Pittman. I just wonder now with Everett out of the side, it's a big arch for Adelaide to play against Pittman's in good form. Plus a big bonus for the Adelaide side. They've got Ian Downsborough too, who can certainly come on the ground, add a bit more into their competition as well there.
Peckett comes the members' side. Trainedes the target. Wakeland was held by Eccles. Play goes on. Atkinson, a fierce tackle. Wakeland over the top to Trainedes onto Burke. Taken out of it. Maybe a little late. No, said the umpire. Good pressure, and it forced him to kick it over the line on the full. Nigel Smart on centre wing. A wonderful night here in Adelaide. They're being spoiled with their sport. It's fantastic. Up towards the 50. Big pack of players. Trainedes busy early. Just tumbles a little one to make 25 metres back towards the wing area.
Looks like Mark Bickley's got the job on Robert Harbour, so he'll be playing him very, very close.
And Francis and Atkinson also a match-up in the middle of the ground.
Pittman front spot, wins it with the right hand. Kane Johnson then goes to the room. He pumps it high and long towards full forward. Jarman didn't fly, neither did Robert. He was out of it. Justin Peckett at the bottom. There'll be a bounce.
There's one young fella down Adelaide forward line who was brilliant last week. Young Brett Burton. If he can find his kicking boots, he's a very exciting footballer.
Wakeland kicked the goal earlier. Now back in defence. Trying to get a touch. Comes towards Trainedes. Gets away from Kane Johnson initially and eventually gets his kick. Now Hall's going to beat a couple here. This will be interesting. Tried to get the hand pass away, but it wasn't long enough. Pittman intercepted, pushes wide towards Eccles. He's caught. Could have been tripped. He was tripped, said the umpire. Is the advantage going to be paid? No, it will come back. The whistle had sounded.
Tony Francis makes a blue on this occasion by going the big knockout blow rather than going for the tackle.
Eccles into half forward. Robran, Johnson, McLeod, they're all there. Peckett out the back door. Hall, crunch. A little too high, said the umpire.
Well done, both sides are attacking their football fiercely. It's going to be a tough physical contest.
It certainly will be, Jared. Here we are to see Barry Hall. It's been reported, has it, for that?
No, I think the crowd wanted 50 out the way the ball was delivered back. There is none. And Bickley will take it from the middle. So Mark Bickley, every player is in the Crows' half of the ground. Every player. Bickley's kick is long, well inside 50. Big pack of players, a couple of leapers, including Downsborough. Look out, here's McLeod, sweeps the hand pass. Atkinson shoots towards goal, but taken on the last line of defence by Stewie Lowe. He defends to the outer side and finds Stephen Ziller. Away he goes, even wider to Joe McLaren. McLaren's almost down to centre wing. Looks towards Mitchell. He's pretty quick, but so too is Tyson Edwards. Well smothered, well done by Mitchell. May open the door for Thompson. No, there's been a whistle and back it comes.
Big job for Edwards. Mitchell really gave them a spark up in that forward line, and not only is he of value because he kicks goals, but he also works hard in the defensive area and gets to players, puts some pressure on, keeps the ball in the St Kilda forward line.
Edwards to a big pack on centre wing. It included Robert. Darryl Wakeman keeps the ball in. 7-point margin to St Kilda. Did all the attacking in the opening couple of minutes. Adelaide has steadied, but have managed just one behind. 10.5 minutes remaining. Francis controls it well. Goes towards half forward, not well directed, and Bassett may rue that dropped catch. Although somehow they might get out of it. It's going to come back as a free kick. I think it's gone St Kilda's way. It'll be Mitchell to take it. 45 metres out.
Bad mistake there by Nathan Bassett. He was certainly on his own. He did all the great work to get out and play in front of Heatley on that occasion and just followed the football down. He should have marked that one. That's a bad drop.
Gavin Mitchell has booted 5 so far this season. 5 goals, 2 to his name. Out. Big kick for the Saints. Big kick for Gavin Mitchell. It's a good kick for Gavin Mitchell.
With traction control, sports mode transmission, and a powerful new 3.5-litre V6 engine, new Magna Sports will give you the ride of your life. It is Mitsubishi.
Well, despite the absence of Peter Everett, the Saints in the 2 centre bounces to date have taken them away quite clearly. Challenge now for the Crows to equalise.
13 points the margin. Francis couldn't get a hand on it this time. Trianides locks it up.
And now just having a look at the matchup between Brett Burton and Justin Peckett. It looks as if there's a bit of a height difference here, and we know Burton a big leaper.
Peckett will play him close with body and may take his leap away from him.
Here's Atkinson tumbling a puck down towards half forward. That's a fine catch by Brett James. Boy who started with Norwood, went to Collingwood, now back with the Crows.
Just touching on that contest, Burton and Peckett, I'll certainly look at that later in the game, because I think, as you said, Gerard, I agree totally with you there that he's got a great pair of hands, the youngster Burton, and that could be a mismatch later in the game.
James for the Crows first. Starts at left. 12 points the margin. Tense opening, I think we can say, here at Football Park, as Young sprints away from fullback. This is going to have to be pretty good. It is to Tony Francis. He's certainly given them some bite. He's a real little goer. He's got Harvey loose. We can chip to half forward and Peckett.
Interesting, Sandy. He had Nathan Burke very wide, but clearly, I think in his mind, Peckett, was that the coach wants him to play through the corridor.
Barry Hall screaming for it. He's got it. What can he do with it now? Just chips it down towards Harvey. He's now 60 metres out. Look out. That's dangerous. Zilla caught and will be pinged. Through the ball, the advantage is paid. The Crows are out of trouble. McLeod's got as he sprints towards the centre. One bounce. Through he comes now. He's away with 2. Still he goes. Andrew McLeod. The drop thumbed up towards centre half forward. Nathan Burke is in front. And he defends well.
Not often that Nathan Burke loses 2 individual contests in a row. He was outpointed by James only a couple of minutes ago. But the ball comes straight back down and Burke prevails.
Francis.
Got to go long.
Well, he's persisting with chipping at the moment and finds Shane Wakeman. Has a look further downfield to size up his options. Stuart Lowe was a target. Atkinson is claimed by Lowe and is going nowhere.
Sandy McLeod was off then. Just great chase by Harvey then. Forced McLeod to take 2 bounces, and of course that long kick fell into Burke's hands. It's a great chase by Harvey then.
I just reckon you got Stuart Lowe down at centre half forward, Jared. You've got to use him. I mean, okay, it's good to keep possession of the football, but when you've got a guy who can mark the footy 10 or 12 times like he can, get it down to him quickly where he's one-on-one.
There is Lowe. He was looking for Francis, doing it with the left hand. Atkinson pressures him over the line. Throw it in.
Looks like there may have been a match-up change. Bickley has gone on to Thompson, and Andrew McLeod going 1-for-1 with Robert Harvey. What a great battle that should be.
Lowe doing the ruck work. Tyson came over the top. Eccles does the shepherding. Didn't really work. Elliott leaves it for Mitchell. He's ripped off the ball and didn't appear to have it. And finally, Stuart Wynn comes in to take control.
Doug, the creative skills of Harvey versus the creative skills of the superstar from Adelaide.
They're both superstars, aren't they, Jared? It's going to be a fantastic contest there. I'll just touch on David Pittman, where he caused a lot of problems last week, was playing a kick behind the play, and Paul Salmon let him do that, I suppose, to some degree. You see Elliott now playing man-to-man.
Look at this. Here he goes again as Costa warms up on the sidelines. That is a good mark to Maxie Hutchton. at centre-half back.
It's an old-fashioned matchup, Sandy. McLeod versus Harvey, two of the greats of the game, and they're on each other.
We have an absolute treat in store for you. Stuart Lowe.
I just wonder there, Jared, maybe Kim Costa, who did a great job last week in the second half on Shane Crawford, he may go to Harvey, which may release McLeod to come that running half-back flanker for him.
Lowe drifts it down towards right half forward. Andrew Thompson was beaten by Bickley. And he comes back towards centre wing again. Pittman looking for someone going past. And got him. That was okay. Wakeland shows courage as he backs into that pack. Hunston comes storming through. Gets the hand pass away to Elliott. Now St Kilda have a chance to go down towards Hall and go. Barry Hall has got it in front. Wants to go on with the job. Gives it back to Elliott. 55 metres out. Puts it over the top. Bassett gives chase. Bassett gives chase, but to no avail.
Chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate. Chocolate is chocolate. Chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is Cadbury is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is Cadbury is chocolate is Cadbury is chocolate. Chocolate is.
Kim Costa is on the ground for the Crows. Brodie Atkinson is off for the moment. St Kilda are 3-2 though. They've got a handy 18-point lead. The closing stages of the first quarter. Johnson couldn't take it. The Saints through Young go wide to the outer side towards Thompson again. He's shoved off the football by Bickley, showing strength. He gives it away to Tyson Edwards. Flicks it high up towards half-court. Rogren makes plenty of ground. And Davida Coupland was forced to defend.
Yeah, Kim Costa has got the job on Robert Harvey. I thought that may occur, particularly after last week's performance on Crawford.
Tony Brown standing by for a run too for the Saints with under 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Pittman, Elliott, Harvey around the body but pressured towards the line. He goes over on the full. Girls.
Yeah, Sandy, I think the reason we're seeing St Kilda chip the ball around, I think Timmy Watson's done his homework. He realised the Crows' defence is a very good one and he's trying to unsettle them with some short movement.
Well, it's working at the moment. Elliott was the spoiler in that pack as Wakeland tumbles a punt back towards centre wing. Crows have the numbers at the back, a chance maybe for Bickley. First one way, then the other. Maybe they've got a chance now for their first goal. As they go down towards half forward. Burton was one of the flyers. Couldn't get a handle on it after the big kick coming in from Downstra. Jarman in over the top. There will be a ball up. 25 metres out from the Crows scoring zone.
Just looks like Stuart Lowe has a free rein at this stage. He's playing at centre-half forward, but every time the ball seems to go inside 50 for Adelaide, he takes Mark Stevens down to that goal square. He's done it 4 times now.
On the boundary line, Tony Brown preparing to come onto the ground for his first run. Saints just rotating their midfield, and they've got plenty of options now, particularly with the form of Tony Francis.
Eccles tries to slog off the ground, tries to go again. Trianides! Again, out on the ball. Third one by the Saints in this quarter. Nigel Smart, 65 metres from home. He goes short. Not short enough, and Wakeland takes it over the line. Darryl Wakeland has 1 goal. Gavin Mitchell has 1. Tim Elliott has 1 for the Saints. Adelaide still looking for their first. Very little breeze here at Football Park. It's been a magnificent day. Temperature still in the low 20s. Wakeland kicks back towards centre wing. McLaren over the line in front of Nigel Smart.
I just reckon we're going to play like Darren Jarman, who's struggling at the moment. If I was probably the coach of Adelaide, so I'd bring him up the ground and give him a chance in midfield for 5 minutes. There's Tony Francis from the ground. As you said, Jared, Brownie's on the ball now.
As he sprints onto the ground, realising there's not a lot of time left. Smart almost gave away a free kick there. Trianides. Well, he put his teammate under a ton of pressure. He may be equal to the task. Held it for a long time, then eventually actually got his kick. Claren down towards left half forward. Flick to the line. There'll be another throw in.
Interesting role for Joe McLaren. Spent a fair bit of the game last week on the wing, and he was absolutely scintillating the first quarter where he picked up something like 10 possessions. But today he's on the half forward line, and Nigel Smart's his opponent, so he's going to have to be very wary of his defensive skills.
Here's a big change for the Saints with Aussie Jones coming onto the ground. Try and eat his off it, but this is Kane Johnson. He's away from half back down towards centre wing. He kicks it wide. It was good. Mark is taken on right half forward. Still a long way from home though, Brett Burton. In just his third game, kicks into Justin Peckett, and it ricochets over the line.
It's one of his faults last week on probably 4 or 5 occasions. He only takes 2 steps and he has a kick, and that appeared only be a goals, but looks like around the ground now he does the same thing. You've got to get back, give yourself a bit of room and have 4 or 5 steps, and then kick through the football.
Throw in on centre wing. Low, Winton. Just trying to palm it down. Mitchell off the ground. Gains 40 metres. Down towards Hall. Hart taken out of it. Hall needs help. Barry needs help. The Cryo ball in front of the members. Play goes on. Up towards Nigel Smart. McLaren there also. It's over the line.
I think Nick Curley's spot on with his assessment of the forward line, as we see Big Bustler do exactly that, to just get his handball away. Because whenever there's a free ball or a set ball situation, the St Kilda forwards spread themselves, trying to put some space between the defence of the Crows.
Low front spot in the throw-in. Thompson couldn't take it. Kane Johnson does. From Stevens towards centre wing. And again over the line, out of the arms of Wakeman. Couple of minutes left. Good start by St Kilda in a low-scoring, tight affair on this Sunday night in Adelaide. Elliott front spot. May get a chance to go again. Tried to paddle it out to Harvey. Didn't quite get the fingertips to it. Eccles does well to give it to James. He goes towards half forward. McLeod pushed it down. That was very clever. It finishes with Kane Johnson. He heads for home with a long bomb. And Justin Peckett is there in the last line of defence.
Just looking at Mark Mashudo's been fairly quiet. He's only had one kick and one handball, Joe. And I mentioned young Damien Ryan was a big arcs for him, and he's done a good job so far.
Yes, he's kept one of the superstars very quiet.
Aussie Jones on the ground. Been on for a couple of minutes. He'll be very keen to impress. He'll love a big game here at Football Park tonight. Peckett running straight down the ground. Takes it now. Then drifts it in towards centre wing where Nigel Smart came leaping through the pack to push it forward to accommodate Costa. Maybe it's Adelaide there. Beautiful kick. Now, go back this time, young man, and take your kick. Maybe more than 2 paces, Dougie.
Oh, I hope he gets back there, Sam, and gives himself every chance. But Kim Costa, that was brilliant play. He was certainly caught behind Robert Harvey, and he just came forward, followed the ball up, and his vision to find him was just brilliant. Good play by Kim Costa.
It was unlike Rob Harvey. He let the ball bounce a second time. And,
he hit it real hard, Jared, did he?
Didn't bounce kindly for him, and Kim Costa came through, running in a straight line, and really did steal it.
Brett Burton kicking from some 45 metres. Gives himself a decent run up and puts it straight through the middle. Wonderful kick.
Here's a couple who bought a renovator's delight. While they're proud of the breakthrough they made,
put in some French doors and then pave the courtyard.
not everybody shares their vision. And here's the Mitre 10 specialist.
Let's start with Accent. It's good value, it's our own brand, great range of colours.
From the store that understands it's not just the low price, it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
You can see it, can't you, darling?
Yeah, it'll come.
Malcolm Blight sees his side get on the board as far as goals are concerned, thanks to Brett Burton and a fine run by Kim Costa. As we go back into the middle, centre breaks are all important. And St Kilda have been doing it at the moment, 3-1. In fact, make that 4-1 now as they go down towards half forward. Stevens leaves it to Hart. The captain of this defence, and he does it so well, finds Tyson Edwards.
It's going to be the great challenge for Barry Hall. We know he's got a strength advantage, we know he's got a height advantage, but has he got the legs to run with Ben Hart?
The two captains strong at each other. McLeod is off with the siren. He'll go no here at Football Park. An exciting first term in front of a full house. Just 4 goals scored. St Kilda booted 3 of those. Gavin Mitchell kicked 1. Darryl Wakeland 1. Tim Elliott booted 1. And Brett Burton in the last couple of minutes of the quarter getting Adelaide on the board. At quarter time, it is St Kilda 3-2-20 leading Adelaide 1-8 as we take a break from Football Park.
Well, here it is. The next generation Magna.
Impressive.
There's more drive ahead and legroom than Falcon. And plenty of space for the whole family. And the new 3.5-litre V6 generates the same power as the Commodore's 3.8. So, technology, security, space, and power. When you think about it, choosing any other family car would be, illogical.
New Magna 3.5, the next generation, is Mitsubishi.
Regain 2% is the only medically proven treatment for hereditary hair loss in both men and women. Used twice a day, it helps slow or stop hereditary hair loss in 8 out of 10 people. Your pharmacist will advise you whether this preparation is suitable for your condition.
Break a family tradition. Keep your hair.
All around the world, mankind has traveled by the stars. And now, with Ansett Australia as a member of the Star Alliance network of airlines, you can travel by the stars, all around the world.
It's April showers time again, and it's really raining. Raining bargains at Truscott Hi-Fi. Down come the prices on this sharp twin-lens camcorder 40 times digital zoom at $400 off. This GE 34cm TV at $30 off. This JVC 6-head stereo VCR is $100 off. This Kenwood 405 watts 3-disc Hi-Fi is $200 off. Plus, you'll be right as rain with Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms. Come to Truscott's this April, but you better bring your brolly.
Monday night, Abby's in trouble.
Did I do something wrong?
What's caught the judge's eye?
You will not be allowed into the room again wearing a skirt that short.
You can't do that.
I just did.
Find out what the verdict is Monday night. Then on Tuesday night, a desperate race against time in All Saints.
Killing me. Just hanging there.
They'll go head-to-head over a matter of life and death.
There's something you're not telling me, isn't there? Don't you think we owe him the truth?
And on Wednesday night in Blue Heelers, Maggie is confronted by a shocking secret.
If you may have just joined us then, welcome to a full house at Football Park here in South Australia. It's quarter time. St Kilda have the early ascendancy, kicking 3 goals in the first term. 3 goals to 20. Adelaide 1 goal to 8.
The 1999 Coca-Cola AFL Premiership season proudly brought to you by Telstra, making life easier. The McDonald's Footy Burger, the double quarter pounder with cheese. The new Mitsubishi Magna 3.5 and Victoria Bitter for a hard-earned thirst.
And if you're enjoying this clash, I've got 2 mates down on the boundary who most certainly are as well in Neil, Curley and Dipper. Boys?
Well, a terrific quarter that was. And as Gerard said about Ben Hart and Big Barry Hall, Timmy Watson did say to Hawley, if you want to really play well, stick with this kid. He's going to show you where the ball goes, but we need to stand up there in the forward line. And it's also very impressive, as you mentioned, Kills, the way they're chipping the ball around to make sure they chip around and then kick over that back line.
Yeah, I don't think they can blaze into the Crows' defence. It's too strong. Malcolm Blight spent a lot of time with David Pittman and very instructional to the rest of the players. No raving and ranting, just cool thoughts.
It's a real old-fashioned game, as Jared called it. It is one man against one man here, and not a lot of space to be found on the ground tonight.
No ranting and raving. Sounds like Curls when he was coaching. What a sight that is. 40,000 fans cheering on the start of the second quarter.
And Malcolm Blight has obviously told David Pittman to go forward because Downsborough, it looks, is in the ruck.
And he wins the kick out of the middle. Downsborough down towards half forward. Robin goes with a fist and gains 15 metres. Pushed in towards the pocket, then soccering wide was Young towards the boundary line and over.
I think one of the problems with David Pittman, Doug, was that Tim Elliott was running him away from the football and allowing Stewie Lowe to come down and play that midfield ruckman role.
No doubt, Jared, because last week Pittman played the kick behind the play and it certainly suited him, but tonight Elliott's staying with him.
On centre wing, Tyson Edwards leaves it for James. Gets the hand pass towards it, Bickley. That was interesting. Tyson Edwards will tidy up for his skipper, and he does it well. Now, the centering ball into half forward. Big pack of players. No one able to take the mark. Pittman tried to soccer off the ground. Wakeland almost flicked it out to Francis, who gets it on to Burke. He's got Stewart Lowe loose. Lowe can have a look down forward. He goes long in towards Barry Hall, who's going to take the free kick, or he's going to be paid the mark. Big bad hustling. 35 metres out. Now he'll go back.
I think both ways there, Sandy. I think the free kick and the mark of Barry Hall. Stewie Lowe found himself in plenty of room there. Could have 2 or 3 bounces and ran inside 50 and may have had a shot.
Yeah, and Aussie Jones, who was looking for his second possession, very disappointed.
The handball. Hall doesn't waste a lot of time in lining up, and he sprays it to the right.
Impressive though, the one grab nature of his marking.
Bassett for the Crows, down by 13 points. Finds Hart in the back pocket, goes over the top to the Roo. Blazes into the centre, and that's all we can say because it's fallen into the big hands of Stewart Lowe. He wouldn't be happy with that, Mark Rashudo.
One thing critical last week with the Adelaide side, they certainly did turn the ball over on a few occasions when they're uncontested with their disposal.
To half forward, and Elliott almost uncontested. Well within scoring distance. Tim Elliott has a look at the mark.
Yes, and David Pittman, no, in fact it was Downsborough, just overcommitting himself. And Elliott can really top off a great start to the match if he can put this one through.
Kicked a goal in the first quarter, Tim Elliott. That is away to the right.
They're the ones that end up killing you. Missed goals from set shots. That's 2 from about the same distance out, 40 metres. They can make the difference on the board at the end of the day.
2 in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it should be 5 or 6 up the Saints.
And what so often happens is the opposition can run it down the other end and make them pay with a goal. Pittman lays it off like lightning. Look at the skills of McLeod. He goes 1, 2, 3. Backs his way through the centre. Looks for something down at half forward. The leads are on. A couple almost collide. And Wakeman, in a wrestling act, takes the pack to the ground. .4 margin. He almost single-handedly lifts the roof off this stand, does McLeod. Another ball up.
I'd just like to see Darren Jarman now come up in the midfield. He hasn't had a touch yet, and I just think a player of his ability and the way he uses the football, he'd be better suited for a 5-10 minute spurt on the ball. Get him into the game.
Here's Thompson trying to break free of Downsborough. Eventually gives it to Trianides. Floating high kick is a difficult one to mark. Also contending with the lights. That makes it hard. McLaren twisting and turning. Went out of one into the other. Nigel Smart says you're going nowhere. 14-point margin. Still with the Saints. Pittman beaten for it. James gets the hand pass away. Very, very quick. Down towards McLeod again. Wants to go on with it. Little worm burner pass to Kane Johnson. Johnson from 45 metres is away to the left. Could have almost gone out on the full.
Could have maybe been a free kick there to young Burt. I thought Peckett certainly pushed him there, Drew.
Not dissimilar to the one at the other end with Barry Hall.
Touched before it went over the line. Gee, only just look at that. There's the throw in. And that kick is going to be very, very close. It was from Tim Elliott. It was almost perfect. Throw in again. Robran this time, setting himself to do the work. Got a touch to it. Thompson. Waitland. Chops his way through some fairly heavy traffic, does Shane. Goes back towards centre wing. Pittman got one hand to it, but that was all. Bentley was taken to ground illegally. The advantage is paid. Tyson Edwards should score. Away he goes. Into full forward. He scores. He goes.
The richest quiz show in Australian television history premieres Wednesday on 7. Someone will be just 10 questions away from $1 million. It could be you if you call 1902 553 477 now to register for your chance to play in this major television event created especially for 7. Call 1902 553 477 now and $1 million chance of a lifetime could be yours.
I think, Sandy, you can write that goal down to Malcolm Blythe because an inspired move putting Pittman down onto low. He won that individual contest and, well, Edwards topped off the goal.
The big men are setting them forward once again. Burton gives it to little James, who gives it to Bickley, who gives it to Johnson, back to Bickley, 52 metres out. He lets one go, but it's away to the left. One behind. Curls.
Sandy, Timmy Watson, he's certainly done his homework. What he's endeavouring to do is to crowd up the Crows' system of play and you know, get a packed situation. But this is why he's crowding the play, because he knows that the Crows are a free-running side.
Done it pretty well at the moment. Young to himself. And then just spearing it into half-back to Tony Francis. Wider again. Hudgston looks towards centre wing. Downsborough got the second hand to it. He tried to give it to Smart. Joey McLaren's riding him like Roy Higgins. And he finishes up with it. Crowd not happy about that, but he finds Stuart low.
It was a good matchup because McLaren got the pace to go with Nigel Smart and very few have.
Lowe puts them inside 50. Big pack of players, a big fly. That was Burton. He loves a fly. Hall gives the hand pass away. Could have been taken high. And Big Bad is going to get another crack at it.
He was necked. Errant tackle. Just slipped up above the shoulders and Barry Hall picks up a free kick. Third set shot for the quarter for the Saints. They haven't drilled one yet. They need this one to go through.
7-point margin. Virtually no breeze here at the moment. Ball from 49 metres. Well, he's pulled that to the left as well. 3 behinds to Barry. So he'll be wanting the drought to break pretty soon.
Just going to kick those goals. That's your bread and butter stuff when you're forward. You're only 40 metres out. Bit of a slight angle. Just going to kick through the ball and kick the goal.
Hall may get another chance. No, he doesn't. Edwards holds it just in time after the Bassett kick out. Edwards heads towards centre wing. That kick's a little too far. Too much on it. Young has got it on centre wing. He's got Elliott in the middle. Uses him now. Packett's even wider if he wants him. He does. Kick's got to be good. Peckett to half board, lowers the target, not the lead, but chipping in to take the mark is Brett Burton. Just his third game, and that was a gem.
Well, it wasn't just a great mark here, but there was enormous courage shown there. Two of the biggest men in the business, Pittman and Lowe, were bearing down on him, but it was full commitment, total commitment for the football.
Hudgston to Harvey is okay, off to Waitland. Darrell pumps it high but wide, and Pittman takes the mark. Too much height for Aussie Jones in that particular encounter.
Looks like Nigel Smart's gone into the goal square next to Darren Jarman for the Crows.
To centre wing, Francis the Crumbs, unable to take it. Tyson there for the Crows also. And another ball up. Fascinating struggle unfolding at the moment. An 8-point ball game. St Kilda leading. A couple of quick goals at the start of the match. Now it's tightened up. James. Pittman almost hands it to Eccles. He looks towards the 50. Burke, an effective spoiler, but pushes it straight down the throat of Eccles. He can go again. Nigel Smart has it taken out of his hands. May get another chance. He goes in the back of the pack. Burke's in trouble. Gets the hand pass away. Waitland pushed into the kick.
I think it's
James has it, but it's going to come back.
Over the shoulder there, Sandy, to Nathan Burke against Nigel Smart.
No question of that. He had him around the neck. The skipper, the veteran of 251 games, comes towards low, but Johnson's in front. Pittman was there also. Johnson first in line. Screaming for it was Rodgren.
You wouldn't worry about the distance, would you? It's a big kick, this guy.
Has been quiet, but has the opportunity now of putting his stamp on this quarter with a goal. This to make the margin a couple of points. He's a booming kick, isn't he, Dougie?
Oh, we saw him last year in that preliminary final against the Doggies.
Yep.
He kicked 5 or 6 big goals.
52 metres out, it's coming back, but it's all too late. Behind.
A couple of good tagging jobs here at the moment. Damien Ryan's doing a ripper job on Mark Rashudo, and Kim Cox has done a very good job on Robert Harvey as well.
Dipper.
Yeah, Jason Heatley's come off the ground for St Kilda, and Barry Hall's now playing full forward. Also going with a forward with Ozzie Jones and Mitchell, so he can just get those crumbs around the feet of Barry Hall.
Thompson at half-back. Thinks about Trianides. Thinks about Wakeland. But then thinks about Elliott. Got a hand to it. Could have almost been held. The umpire said no. Skills of Harvey on show. That was great to see. Mitchell wide on the outer side has got to give a little ground. Young chips away into the centre. Hackett picks it up delightfully on the half volley. He looks down towards Stewart Lowe now. Lowe gets in front and takes the mark. He'll have a shot 30 metres out.
Just great judgment in by Stewie Lowe there, and Mark Stevens got caught. Not Mark Stevens. Pittman got caught trying to look for Stewie, trying to feel his body, but couldn't find him and missed him. And just a good pair of hands, Stewart Lowe. He's got to kick the goal here.
Big crowd hushed. They know that their side has a battle royal on their hands tonight if they're going to take the points. The boy from Mount Eliza. It is 258th game. This is yet another set shot. Number 4, but it's much better this time, and he's got it. Points the margin in favour of St Kilda.
And the Crows really do need a lift, Sandy, I think, from their very biggest names. The likes of McLeod, who's been pretty well held. Rodgren hasn't got near it tonight. Mark Rashudo also well held. And Darren Jarman yet to trouble the scorers. And it's really the likes of Beckley, their skipper, but more of a hard-working player rather than a superstar. Edwards and the youngster Eccles that are keeping the Crows in this match.
Centre break again going the way of St Kilda. Oh, look at Elliott. He's on fire as he floats a punt, and it's not a pretty one. Down into the forward line. Out of bounds. But he's playing like a man possessed at the moment, Tim Elliott.
Well, he's a player with an opportunity.
Yep. Tyson's just been taken from the ground.
Ozzy, the whistle had sounded.
Just watch this young kid, Jared, young David Gallagher. I saw him last week and he just showed some glimpses of very good form. Got great balance. And the good thing about the youngster, he can go both sides of the body. He's got a good future.
Free kick goes the way of Pittman on the last line of defence. Under 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Pittman towards centre wing. Elliott almost got a hand to it. Socket off the ground by Burton. He's a real athlete. Robin couldn't quite take it. It was a difficult one, but he's very quick to apply the tackle. Burton does well to get the hand pass out to Watson. They're going to chop him up and eat him for dinner.
They chop him up.
Kane Johnson, still an unheralded player, very talented man and a dual premiership player, but he tried to back and go through traffic there, and one of them was Nathan Burke and Stephen Zilla. They wrapped him up.
Burton having a spell. Whittle is on the ground for the Crows. Got to be a free kick for holding. Nigel Bassett made sure the umpire could finally see it, and he's got it on centre wing. 13-point margin the way of St Kilda. Bassett chips it short to McLeod. He's just in the attacking zone. Pops it over the top to the young man who's just come onto the ground, Darryl Whittle from North Adelaide. Turned 23 just last weekend. We say good luck to him as he goes into the pocket. Robrin was the target. Waitland comes over the top. Back towards the defensive 50 it goes. Thompson to try and Needies. He's wide at the centre wing. Pushed towards the line. McLeod, still McLeod, but a whistle has sounded. And it'll be a free kick. Going the way of St Kilda. With 8 minutes remaining, Ozzy Jones has it. Needs something to lift his confidence, Oz. Towards Peckett. Good kick, should have held the mark. He goes again, now he's got to apply the tackle. Stolen by Downsborough. From a standing start, he pumps it high to half-forward. Costa! No one on the mark, so it's good for home. He's got Nigel Smart in the square. Young approaches him, he doesn't give away the free kick. McLeod should kick a goal. And he does.
Tôi đến Old Trafford bởi vì tôi phát giác ra một tiếng động rất là kỳ cục ở cái máy xe của tôi. Nó kêu tích tích tích. Tôi nói cho họ biết điều đó và họ bảo là cái bộ phận tappers đang có một chút trở ngại. Tôi cần cái xe của tôi sửa trong một ngày, nhưng họ chỉ sửa mất có vài tiếng đồng hồ thôi. They are that good. They understand.
McLeod's first goal has got the hometown fans finding voice. Back to a 7-point margin in favour of the Saints. An important time in this game. Elliott wins it, but McLeod tries to take it out of the middle. Held it for a long time. Before getting it up towards Eccles, then Wintle. He goes even wider. Was meant for Bassett. May eventually finish with him. It does. Out the centre wing, he finds Eccles. Andrew Eccles looks up towards the right half forward. Johnson's given away a free kick. The advantage is paid. Young comes in towards the centre. Trianides needs support. Nathan Burke is there. Breaks the tackle. Almost a misunderstanding between Zilla and Trianides. It could come unstuck. Jarman's trying to get into the game. Zilla's trying to get the ball. He does to Burke. Off he goes to Francis. Sheparding sees him clear. Thought about Hutchton. Now ignores him. Goes down towards the 50. No mark taken. Stevens defends. So too does Bassett. It's over the line.
And the Crows' defence really has been reorganised with Smart going to the forward line. We know that Pittman's gone on to low, but Joe McLaren is now on Ben Hart, and Stevens has moved on to Barry Hall, and Bassett, who was initially on Heatley, is now picking up the smaller Mitchell.
Elliott like an athlete, and he is. Mitchell to Brown, to Jones. Brown's just come back out onto the ground. Jones' kick is high, into full forward. Hall gets a hand to it, but that is all.
Just looks like now Robin Harvey's having a bit of a breather now. He's gone into the forward line for the St Kilda slide, and Kim Costa has kept it. His shadow's gone with him.
Hart to Bassett. Gets the hand pass back towards Tyson Edwards. Look out, Tyson, you're in trouble. Bassett tries to tidy up, but good pressure. Johnson, can he keep it in play? He can, towards Windle, back to Johnson. Now he's away. Kane Johnson looks towards half-forward. Here comes Roderick. Swings around like the Titanic, but he doesn't sink. He kicks to Nigel Smart. Couldn't take it. Off hands to Costa. Costa gives it away to Eccles. Eccles.
Collided with another driver at a roundabout. Now, I hadn't been with Amy very long. I'd swapped from another company I'd been with for at least 20 years because of the increase in premiums. Amy's service was fantastic. It was very personal, it was very sympathetic, it was very efficient, and it was very fast. They arranged to have the car towed to their customer service centre. I got a refund cheque for the whole of the insured value within a couple of days. It was just so easy with Amy. It really was.
I'll bet you Sunday night hasn't rocked like this for a while. 2-point ball game. This is what we want. Elliott couldn't take it. Johnson out of the centre. They're starting to win the ball out of the middle, but it's not gone yet. Francis gets the hand pass away towards Zilla. He drifted up towards half-forward. Edwards, that's a good spoil. He goes again. Tyson Edwards. Spinning it round, knew that he had very little room. Francis lost it, then paddles it through his legs, over the line. Throw it in, sets the umpire. And we'll go down to curls.
Yes, Sandy, that last bit of play is what Tim Watson's trying to prevent. The two players for the Crows, Jarman and Rashudo, are having real trouble trying to get into this game.
Still on centre wing. Francis couldn't take it. Zilla, Downsborough over the top.
Just shows you how much pressure by both these sides at the moment on this ground. I mean, perfect night for football here at Footy Park in front of 40,000. I reckon probably have a 12-goal game. This should probably kick 15 to 20 goals in conditions like this.
The centre bounce clearances really have reflected the scoreboard. In the first quarter was 1-4 in favour of St Kilda. In the second quarter, 4-1 in favour of the Crows.
Kane Johnson ping. Elliott to take it on centre wing. A very important 5 minutes now in this game. Stuart Lowe comes charging at it.
Looked like he had control.
Tyson Edwards is wide.
I think it's been a key matchup. Pittman on Stuart Lowe, great smother there, but Pittman really has taken Lowe out of the game, although he has chipped in with a goal in this term.
The Ryan hand pass was okay. Young's mark was very good. He could chip to Ozzie Jones, who takes the mark inside 50. Now Oz has a big kick here, not only for St Kilda, but for Ozzie Jones.
No doubt, Sandy, this will do his confidence world of good. And these are the goals he can kick.
Dimmer.
Yeah, Nathan Burke has come off the ground. We'll just check on him, but he doesn't look too good at the moment.
Let's watch Ozzie Jones kicking from 46 metres.
Through the middle.
Beautiful kick from Oz. Is straight through the middle. St Kilda replies.
Well, I saw him kick a goal in a state game from an even tighter angle than that in that very pocket. So he probably had a bit of a deja vu there and a little bit of confidence from that kick. And great to see him getting some success, because he really has been down a little bit this season with an interrupted pre-season, and also struggled a bit last year right throughout the season. One of the most exciting players, Doug, that the competition has.
No doubt, Gerard. And Matthew Young's been very good for the Saints. He's given him plenty of run out of this back line. And once again, then he's come forward and set that goal up. So good play by Young.
An 8-point ball game once again in favour of St Kilda. Tim Elliott has rucked tirelessly. Rashudo has it held up by his opposing number 32.
See the frustration of Mark Rashudo starting to emerge, and he's really going to pump up for this last couple of minutes.
Beware. Rashudo from the middle, as you said in our opening. Eccles. Looks down to his congested forward line. Waitland comes over the top, unable to take the mark. Kim Costa, a step by Costa, finds the woodwork.
Heatley back onto the ground. Tipper.
Yeah, I've just checked up with the doctors. Nathan Burke got his head knocked in the first quarter. Got a bit of a headache at the moment. I think they'll keep him off until half-time, and maybe we'll see him back on the third quarter, boys.
I reckon Darren Jarman gave him a good hip and shoulder there a little bit earlier, probably 5 minutes ago, and he came down the ground. That could have something to do with that one, I think.
Also, I noticed Barry Hall is off and Heatley back on for the closing minutes of this term. Harvey trying to find a target. Peckett on all fours. Sensational tackle. Harvey goes as only Harvey can. Very effective finding Mitchell. Almost down to half forward. Can go short to Zilla. And he does. Stephen Zilla can go on with it. He's got a lead coming into the pocket now. The kick's got to be good. And it is for Aussie Jones. Was he this tight in that state game, Gerard?
I reckon we're getting close to it.
We're getting close. Let's see what he can do. 45 metres out.
Kick the goal, son.
Kicking from probably 48.
It's home.
It's a mighty kick again. It is not quite home. Ooh, is it one behind? Yes.
And Curls, I think it's that pocket that's notorious here at Football Park for being one of the toughest spots to ever kick a goal.
Yeah, it's very difficult from that area. The wind, well, the breeze always against you a little bit. Just seems to be a narrower goals post.
Only when the opposition are kicking to that end, Curls.
Look out, here comes Costa. Support from behind, and that's okay. The kick had to be good, and it was from the big man. Off he goes, Gallagher into half forward, a beauty to Robert, back to Gallagher. Gallagher looks down deeper into the forward zone. The lead is on, but Smart is caught behind. Gave a little bit of a nudge. Hudson comes charging at him. Smart gets the hand pass away. Going to be okay for Eccles. Another wider one to Johnson. Johnson off to Robert. Robert a snap. It's horrendous.
May have been a bad result, but danger sign here for St Kilda because Matthew Robert is starting to warm into this game. He's got a couple of important possessions. Sure, that one didn't go through the goals, but he is pivotal to their forward line. If he fires, the Saints will be in big trouble.
Yeah, you're right. He's just starting to creep into it. A couple of minutes left.
Sandy, good play by young Gallagher on that occasion. He's balanced. I mean, he found 2 targets, got the ball back. That was good football by him.
8 points the margin. Tony Brown on the outer side. Chips it wide to Wakeland. It's going to test him. Shane keeps it in play. Then kicks up towards half forward. Over James, but he recovers well. Finding Bassett. Into the middle. Look out, Mark Beckley. He's got to beat a couple here. Stephen Zilla is one of them. Gets through to Harvey. Harvey gives it away quickly. Wakeland pops it long again towards Lowe and co. Neither can take it. James perhaps first to it as Lowe gives chase. He's taken out of it. James does well. An underground hand pass is going to be quite okay. Stevens comes away, hugging the boundary on the outer side at Football Park. Looks up towards the right half-forward flank area. Desperate couple of minutes here. And a tackle could have been construed as high. Even cries of in the back. But the boys will pick themselves up.
I think a plaudit should also go to Kane Johnson, who started in the forward line. Then he went on to Andrew Thompson, who had a great start to the Saints. He really has blanketed him.
Winkle gets it out to McLeod. He comes inboard to Johnson. Almost leg. Costa couldn't take it effectively. Harvey chipping over the middle once again. Look out, because here comes Stuart Lowe. He flicked it forward. I don't know whether that was intentional. It may work out okay. Mitchell's on the end of it. Now Tony Brown. Can they finish it off with Trianides? He can go all the way. Jason Trianides, 40 metres out. Shoots towards goal for St Kilda and puts through behind. Another opportunity going begging. Trianides into the open goal.
Tough ones to kick though, Doug, aren't they? After a run of about 40 metres. Plenty of pressure on.
I think so, Gerard. Is he left footer or right footer, Gerard? He can go both ways, I know that. But I thought if he's a left footer, he had plenty of time to go to his natural foot.
I was a little bit confused about that.
I'm not sure if he is a left or right footer.
We'll ponder that.
We're still trying to work out whether Leon Cameron is a left or right footer.
Tyson Edwards out wide to McLeod. Now they're teeing off for him. He comes in towards Kane Johnson in the middle, but he's beaten by the siren. Let's go a mighty taunt, but all too late. A big first half here at Football Park. A tight encounter. Aussie Jones kicked the goal in that quarter for St Kilda. Tyson Edwards kicked one for Adelaide. Andrew McLeod kicked one for Adelaide. And Stuart Lowe one for the Saints. But it's a low-scoring affair it's still anyone's game, Jared.
No doubt. I thought the Saints really did start the game well with Thompson and Francis, Harvey getting plenty of possessions. But those three guys were nullified somewhat in the second term. Harvey continued his good work, but I thought Bickley has really worked hard for his side. And the move of Nigel Smart into the forward line from defence, I think, really did alter the balance of the forward line for the Crows. And we've got a very tight game on our hands, and it would appear as if the result, though, could still go either way, and that goal from Trianides may prove costly just before half-time.
No doubt, Jim. I'm still going for the Saints at this stage. They're playing great footy.
Both camps gathering and then marching off as one. St Kilda and Adelaide. Nothing in this one. Coming up shortly, though, Collingwood's Danny Frawley answers the questions.
How would you feel if your 52-year-old mother said she was pregnant?
How did this happen?
And she wants you to deliver the baby.
I'll do it naturally right here at home. Here?
Naturally?
Chicago Home, Monday on 7.
Come on, sing it for me, girls. Woo! Whoa! No! Here I come now. And you know when you hear me moaning. The only thing as good as your cherry ripe is someone else's. Come on, get back in here.
How can a humble spud help thousands of seriously ill children? Come to McDonald's during McHappy Month and 10 cents from Australia's favourite large fries goes to help our small fry.
Drink the rhythm.
Hot game. Cool pie.
The Great Southern Pie, the only official pie of the AFL.
You know, there's been a lot of wild claims about paint lately. But let me give you the drum. I paint for a living. And the one paint I rely on, together with thousands like me, is Solver Maxi Wash. For an unbeatable interior finish, it wipes the rest away. And for the outside, it's Solver Duragard. Best paint under the sun. So take it from me. Get along to your local Solver Decorator Centre or distributor, then it's problem solved.
Bugger. Bugger me. Bugger. Easy now, son. Ooh, bugger. You burn.
Bugger.
Bugger.
Authentic pepperoni, ham, cabanossi, beef, and bacon. It's all on the Pizza Haven Meat Supreme.
For your Pizza Haven, call up Pizza Haven tonight.
A high-profile murder case.
I didn't kill this woman. Her severed head was in his possession.
And they'll do anything to win.
Miss Gamble, if I could...
You gotta be kidding.
Is what's in that cooler what I think it is?
The Practice, Tuesday, 9:30.
Hope you're enjoying our coverage of this big Sunday night match here at Football Park in South Australia. It is a beauty. It's a tight one with St Kilda just keeping their noses in front at half-time. 5-8-38 Adelaide, 4 goals, 5-29. So the margin is 9 points here at Football Park. Second half coming up shortly, but still plenty more action. Collingwood beaten again today and unfortunately still looking for their first win of the season. Assistant coach there at Collingwood Land is Danny Frawley. I'm happy to say we can join Danny now, who's sitting at home enjoying this clash. At least you can smile, Danny. Some positive signs for Collingwood. You really do start the games very, very competitively.
Yeah, that's been probably the scenario for the last 3 weeks, Sandy. The efforts have really been there, and I suppose it's very frustrating as a coaching staff and more importantly the players, because their efforts have been sensational, but we just haven't been able to be rewarded on the scoreboard, unfortunately.
I guess also injuries to key players haven't helped you.
Yeah, well, that was well publicised early in the week, but I think our group as a whole really didn't focus on that too much during the week. It was a great opportunity for our younger players to stand up and be canned, and they did that for a half, but just weren't unable to sustain it.
A couple of your younger players are impressing though, Spud, in particular Nick Davis.
Yeah, well, Nick's been very good, Jared. As you know, he's our first draft pick under the father and son rule, with his father being the great Craig Davis. And Nick's just got, he's only 18, but he's got a very old head on his shoulders as far as football knowledge goes. And, he's going to be a good player for a number of years with Collingwood. And we've been wrapped with his performances.
Spud, Craig will be wrapped with the wrap you just put on him, but... No multiple goal kickers for you, but up at the other end of the ground, Scotty Cummings got 7 for the West Coast.
Yeah, that was a bit of a problem for us, Jared. Young Simon Prestigiacomo has played really well for us in reserves the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately got a very bad knock on the knee about 10 minutes into the first quarter and is unable to run, and we had that job earmarked for Simon. Unfortunately, that threw our matchups up a fair bit, but to Scotty Cummins' credit, he played very well, and the Eagles midfield did supply him with some very good passes.
Now, Danny, you're sitting back there relaxing in the black and white tracksuit, but for a lot of years you were wearing a red, black and white tracksuit. You must have some feeling for the Saints here at Football Park tonight.
Yeah, well, being a Victorian, obviously an ex-Saint man, Sandy, I've got a bit of a soft spot for them. They're going quite well at the moment, and it's great to see a few of their young fellas playing well too. Young Timmy Elliott, as Jared said, is really grabbing his chance with Peter Everett out, and he's playing a great game.
And Spud, what about the West Coast? Still undefeated, and a number of people thought that they were going to go down the ladder, but they look pretty impressive in the first month of footy.
Listen, Jared, they're a very professional unit, the West Coast Eagles. Week in, week out, you know what to expect from them. They're a very hard running side. They've got a great defence, which was the case again today. Their midfielders ran hard, and of course, as we talked about, Scotty Cummins up forward. So they're a force to be reckoned with. With 11 home games, I'm sure they'll be having a fair say in the final 8 this year for sure.
OK, let's look ahead to next week. The Tigers, you're going to be ready for them, I hope.
Yeah, well, we saw Richmond play North Melbourne on Friday night, and that was a fantastic game. And obviously their midfield's their strength with Knights, Campbell and Nick Daffy through the midfield, and obviously up forward their tall players in Richardson, Holland and young Ottens who kick 4 as well. So we've got a fair bit of work to do during the week, but we're looking forward to the clash. We're all still very positive down at Collingwood, even though the win-loss ratio is not very good at the moment. We're just looking forward to next week, and hopefully the players can get rewarded for their efforts.
Danny, go and put the kettle on, get ready for the second half. Thanks for your time and good luck for the remainder of the season.
Thanks, Andy.
Danny Frawley speaking was there from Melbourne. We wish him and Collingwood well. Maybe he can get involved in Name a Game if there's one he'd like to pick out and have a look at. Perhaps some old Tigers ones.
Andy.
Here it is, Danny. 1800 035 665 for the game of your choice. Go to it now. You can watch any game you like, when you like. We'll take a break. More shortly from Football Park.
How does it happen? You're racing a fuse or printing the news, and you strain till you think that you'll burst. You sure got a thirst. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and the best cold beer is Victoria Bitter. It can come at any time. You're taking a vow, or chasing a cow. Matter of fact, I got it now. Victoria Bitter.
Professor Clark had an idea to help some people to hear.
The bionic ear.
This required a tiny implant.
Very small.
But it was only possible
with help from telephone engineers here in Melbourne.
They mean it twice, be secretive.
Can you imagine the wonderful things that we've all got to look forward to?
The best shampoo to control my dandruff is Nezerol?
No, Mark, it's Nizorol. No, Mark, no!
We do the big fishing trip every year, but this one's different. We're in my new Fairlane. The boys love the power of the new VCT engine and all the luxuries, of course. But I think what impresses them most is the comfort.
The lure of the new Fairlane gear.
Didn't have the heart to wake them.
The best ever Australian album, 40 of our greatest hits. On 2 CDs. The best ever Australian album. Get it.
To get the best price, get the sign that sells on your property.
Nobody does it better. Do you like it? Thank you, Mr. Hooker. LJ Hooker, you're the best.
You know, some things you don't have to shout from the rooftop. Like knowing who you are, where you've come from, and where you're going. It's an inner strength, a quiet confidence born of common heritage. You are an Australian, and we are the oil company who serves Australia. Ampol Caltex Distributors, proudly serving Australia.
Sniffing around for extra value? With the Daewoo Nubira X Series, you won't pay extra for air conditioning, alloys, a CD player and spoiler. From $19,250, they're extra big value.
Dandruff can be a real problem, but not if you shampoo with Nicerol. Ever since I've been using Nizorol, I can wear dark clothes without worrying. Yep, I can really recommend Nizorol.
Perfect, Mark. Absolutely perfect.
I know.
Couldn't be better.
Thanks. I actually said Nizorol then.
Welcome back to Football Park. Big moment for a number of youngsters because the Coca-Cola AFL Under-17 International Series has finally come to an end today with a big game here at Football Park. It was won by Australia over Ireland, so Australia completed a clean sweep. Let's join the presentation now with one of the legends of the game in Ron Barassi.
Profits enough for these boys to be paid to come out. Now, next October, we're going to have the Irish men come out and probably play in Adelaide and Melbourne. And if you people don't turn up, the chances of these boys continuing on having a chance to represent their country would be vastly lessened. So I would just like to keep you in mind, and it is a great honour to have my name associated with this medal, and I'll be presenting it in one moment. Thank you. And in fact, it's right now. A young man who's done very well in the 3 matches, Joel Corey. Well done, Joel. Just say a quick few words to the folks. We know you're going to be a Sydney Swans recruit anyway.
Thanks very much for Ireland for making the trip. Enjoyed playing these. Congratulations to Australia. And support staff, coaches, thank you very much. And well done. Thanks.
Joel Corey and the Australians, emphatic winners today. Fantastic game, and I know viewers around Australia are going to be seeing highlights of that win in game day next weekend. But we've got a big game on our hands here, haven't we?
Absolutely. What an honour, though, for Joel Corey, the inaugural Ron Barassi medal winner. But I tell you what, one day he may be featuring some of the highlights that we're about to see. And as you said, Sandy, St Kilda did get off to a fantastic start. And Stuart Lowe, I think, has been one of the key players for the Saints.
Yeah, well, they've been relying on Lowe and also had Barry Hall up forward. But let's have a look at the way that they have used Stuart Lowe, because he has been a focal point with Barry Hall up forward.
And just have a look at the strength of Stuart Lowe here. Elliott versus Downsborough there, setting this one up. Rob Harvey really has got worked his way into this game, and young Mitchell has also done particularly well. But the ball eventually coming down through the middle of the ground. Tim Watson has encouraged his side to go down through the centre corridor. But to do that, you have to have someone with big bucket-light hands on the end of it. And we saw there Stewie Lowe setting himself for the mark.
And he just read it beautifully. Caught behind initially, got himself in front, took the mark, and then completed the goal. Well, it's great to watch Andrew McLeod in full flight. Costa, Smart and McLeod combined here. But he hasn't really exploded tonight, has he? He's shown glimpses.
Just glimpses, but he is such an explosive player that some of the stuff that he has done has kept the Crows in the game without being a dominant player individually. This is the bloke that they really need to fire up. He could have gone wide to a lead by Rashudo. Once again, the Blight edict, go down the middle of the ground. Good work there by Costa to get the ball onto Eccles, and that was one of those goals that we see so often here at Footy Park. They lift the crowd.
The little dribblers certainly did that. We're going to take a break. Second half is coming up shortly.
Recorded messages that keep you waiting on the phone.
Frustration and aggravation.
We compare the best companies and the worst, where you'll wait more than 20 minutes before you get through. Find out who it is Monday. On Today Tonight, drug dealers escaping from jail.
Here it is in black and white.
Our cameras catch them jumping the walls.
Public will be shocked.
Doing drug deals, climbing back in.
Unbelievable.
And getting away with it.
Easy to score inside and outside.
From 6 o'clock on 7.
Here's a family who wants to enhance their outdoor living area and add value to their home with a new deck and garden. And here's the Mitre 10 specialist.
40-tooth blade, the more teeth on the blade, the finer the cut. So the tooth is...
What was that?
From the store that understands it's not just the low price, it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
Dad, look over here.
What's here?
The Mitre 10 truck.
A game.
Pool pie. The Great Southern Pie. The only official pie of the AFL.
It's April showers time again, and it's really raining. Raining bargains at Truscott Hi-Fi. Down come the prices on this sharp twin-lens camcorder 40 times digital zoom at $400 off. This GE 34cm TV at $30 off. This JVC 6-head stereo VCR is $100 off. This Kenwood 405 watts 3-disc Hi-Fi is $200 off. Plus, you'll be right as rain with Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms. Come to Truscott's this April, but you better bring your brolly.
While Riverdance and Lord of the Dance were wowing Australian audiences, Spirit of the Dance was smashing box office records right across the United Kingdom, Europe and America. Starring one of the world's most exciting dance troupes, the Irish Dance Company, this powerful show weaves together Irish energy with the primeval forces of tap, dance, jazz, ballet and flamenco. Don't miss this unique opportunity to see Spirit of the Dance.
The Honda Accord VTIL comes with the remarkable VTEC engine and produces 80% less toxic emissions than the Australian standard requires, which should go down very well with Mother Nature. What an idea.
Preparing exterior timber is hard work. After sanding, you then have to apply a filler, then put on a primer, then put on the undercoat. But now you can cover all those steps in one application with new Polycoat Once. Scrape off any loose paint and one coat of Polycoat Once fills, primes and undercoats. After that, all you do is put on the gloss. Give all weathered exterior timber the Polycoat Once Over.
So, how was it? Sensational. We heard it was good.
No, but it was better than we expected.
Yeah,
the extras made the difference.
Everyone was brilliant.
Made me so happy in parts I nearly cried. Me too.
Yes. I'd recommend it to all of my friends.
I tell everyone to come and see for themselves.
Much better than I expected.
It was excellent. I'll be recommending it to everybody. It was just...
At Australian Central Credit Union, 93% of our members rate our service as good or excellent. Australian Central, for more personal finance.
9 points is the margin at half-time. It's a tight one here at Football Park. Sunday night football on 7. Hope you're enjoying every minute of it. St Kilda 5-8, leading Adelaide 4-5. And of course, we're here on Sunday night, boys. Pumping it up, Douglas, as only you can. And Jared, let's look ahead to Friday night. Melbourne plays Hawthorn. The Hawk boys, well, they shot out of Perth like there was no tomorrow. And now they've got to get ready for Friday night.
Interesting to see them go down or come home on the midnight flyer.
They did. Let's go down to the boundary line.
Yeah, well, this stage, with the amount of football that St Kilda team have had, they should be further ahead, Dip.
Absolutely, and no sign Nathan Burke at the moment. He's still in the rooms and looks like he's in a bit of trouble, Pels.
Gallagher has the ball held. We're still pretty much in the middle. Starting the second half. St Kilda going with a 9-point break. Down the throat of James it goes. He spears it into the half-forward line. Jarman has opened his account with his first touch for the night. A fine mark in front of the eyes.
This is when he becomes very, very dangerous, Darren Jarman. He's been down, as you say, in his first touch. This is the sort of stage that Darren Jarman loves.
Game number 178 now for the Crow veteran. A champion at Hawthorn, kicking from 40 metres. Lovely kick, straight over the goal line by him. Great start for Jarman and the Crows in the second half.
And if there was a worrying sign for St Kilda at half-time, it was that their lead was just 9 points. And Darren Jarman hadn't touched the football. Andrew McLeod hadn't been the dominating player. Mark Prosciutto also down. But, well, when you get on the end of a brilliant pass like that from Brett James, it's very rarely that Darren Jarman doesn't convert.
5-8, plays 5-5. The Saints by 3 points. Elliott still charges at it, but he's beaten in the middle. They're going to take it out of the centre again, courtesy of Kane Johnson. Here comes Nigel Smart. Got a hand to it, but now he's got to back up again. Young heads for the boundary line. Straight over. We'll have a throw in.
And since quarter time, the Crows have dominated those centre bounce takeaways. And if they come out that easily, Doug, it just puts so much pressure on your back line. It's, well, you're almost reliant upon a mistake by the forward, as we saw Nigel Smart drop that mark to get away without a goal.
No doubt, Jared. It just looks like here now, looks like Mark Prosciutto's playing full back, picking up Aussie Jones. So Prosciutto out of the play in the back line.
Last man up is Robert Harvey. Crows have it in their attacking zone. A chance. Wakeland tries to defend, pushing down towards Young. And the whistle has sounded. It's a St Kilda free kick going the way of Wakeland. Darryl Wakeland kicked a goal in the first quarter. Gives it back to Young. Comes to the wide open spaces. No one at home. And it bounces ever so slowly over the line.
Doug, I reckon that'll be a first, Mark Prosciutto to full back.
I reckon you might be right there, Jared. I'm very surprised to see that. Just compliments the great job that young Damien Ryan's done on Mark Prosciutto to see him forced back to full back.
Trianides pushes down to accommodate Francis, who soccers off the ground down towards the half-forward line. Bassett comes charging out, pumps it high up towards half-forward. Rodram takes the mark. He's got Eccles streaming past. He's got players breaking for him. One is Pittman. 65 out. Lets one go. Well, he goes round the man on the mark. That was Stuart Lowe. Pittman goes home. The Crows have hit the front.
Tuesday, take a look underfoot and uncover the latest in floor coverings.
Well, how stylish is this floor?
Plus, whip up an Asian laksa that'll have your taste buds tingling.
I can't tell you how good this smells.
Then at 8, get set for some cool adventure.
Doesn't get much cooler than this.
From the ultimate icy escape on an Arctic icebreaker
I'm in the Arctic Ocean, for goodness sake.
to a wet and wild whitewater experience in New Zealand.
Venture that anyone can do.
The great outdoors after Better Homes and Gardens, Tuesday on 7.
Big goal to David Pittman. Dougie's still scratching his head. Adelaide by 3 points. Tony Brown out of the middle. Takes it up towards Lowe. He got one hand to it, but that was all. Mitchell, can St Kilda reply? Lowe around the body towards Barry Hall. He too got a hand to it. Stephen Ziller off hands, but he's away to the left and one behind.
Once again, the Saints just wasting an opportunity. There's a great battle going on in the wing between Andrew Eccles and Jason Trianides. Eccles is such a skillful player that he needs guarding. It looks like Tim Watson has said to Trianides, just match him in creativity.
Rashudo finds Bassett.
I just wonder if Stuart Lowe will go deep into the back line now once again and take Pittman down there.
He finds Hart. Here comes Robrin again. Tyson over the top. This is dangerous. This is very dangerous. Eccles is on the end of it. Pittman
taking him down.
David Pittman is standing up in this third quarter.
Stewie Lowe's in the middle of the ground here, Jared.
Yep.
He's 40, 50 metres. Mate, you've got to follow your man down. I don't care where you're playing. 10.5 forward, half forward flank. You must follow your man down. Gee whiz.
Well, I think the bloke on the mark will have his feet firmly planted on the ground.
I agree with you.
Just in case the big fellow tries the same trick again.
David Pittman for his second in as many minutes. Adelaide lead by 2 points. They now lead by 3.
Stewie Lowe just breathing a sigh of relief in the middle of the ground.
He needs to be on the run, Pittman, dodging round players. 3-point margin then. Kick back into the centre. Robrin, a big fly from the side. Gee, he is certainly lifting and the Crows are lifting with him. What sort of a bomb will he let go here?
Great to see the big talk.
Oh, it'd be fantastic. He smacked back in the middle of football target. No.
Brilliant play.
A little worm burner. It's a beauty to Tyson Edwards. Still 55 at least out when he takes the kick.
He's got McLeod loose.
McLeod in the end wasn't the target. Mitchell's hand pass goes astray. Smart's given away a free kick. Straight into the back of Robert Harvey. St Kilda down by 3. An interesting juggle by Stephen Ziller. On half-back. He finds Tony Brown, who in turn chips to Wakeland, who wants Elliott. Has it fisted away. James turning and weaving, dodging. Tyson, if it sits, he's in business. Tyson on the left foot snap. It's long! It's straight and it's a goal! Crows on a roll!
Professor Clark had an idea to help some people to hear.
The bionic ear.
This required a tiny implant. Very small.
But it was only possible with help from telephone engineers here in Melbourne.
They miniaturize the secretive.
Can you imagine the wonderful things that we've all got to look forward to?
Ominous signs now as the Crows hit back. They lead by 9 points. Elliott jumps in the middle, but they've got to win it out. Francis is away. He gets claimed. Trianides got a hand to it. There'll be another ball up.
And the last 2 shots at goal for the Crows have come because the St Kilda players who are in the forward line and pushing down the crowd up their defensive area have broken free and run forward of the ball before St Kilda have actually won it. The rebound ball has come back to Crows players that are free.
Elliott to Harvey, who was dumped. Costa at 360. Now they're winning it out of the middle. Kicks to half forward. Oh, the mark from behind by Jarman. The Rolls Royce has started the engine.
Well, there you are, Sandy and Judd. The first multiple goal kicker in the game. He had to touch up to half-time. Here he is. The genius, as Sandy called him. He is a genius. He's kicked 2 goals in his 3rd term. Brilliant football by him.
And you know, Dougie, that he's just as likely to kick another 3 in this quarter.
Well, he certainly can. He can certainly turn it on. That's the sort of stage this bloke likes when he's sort of down and he's struggling. Just brilliant body work there. Pushed his opponent under the ball, young Max Hutchkin on that occasion. Great goal there by Darren Jarman. He's a freak.
Blighty must have given him some colostrum at half-time. Really pumped him up.
15 points the margin. Elliott again stands over it. The kick is high and wide and not very handsome.
Good play, Doug, on the wing. Andrew Eccles. That should have been a
great attempt to mark, and then possibly should have got a free, as you said. Peckett to McLaren. Eccles has him, but he gets it off to Tony Brown. St Kilda need a reply. To Stuart Lowe, picks it up on the half volley, puts Harvey under the pump. He caught one. Barry Hall needs to do something. Chip short, another half volley pick up by McLaren. Snaps towards goal. It's pretty good for St Kilda, and they get one back.
And that time the Saints won the footy and then moved forward with numbers. And if they don't win the football first and they have their forward line players running forward, they are going to be caught out on the rebound. But this one, it looked as if they were going to overpossess the football, but in the end they came up with a pretty good pick-up on the half volley by McLaren after a chip kick from Barry Hall and a goal, and certainly a goal that they desperately required.
A bit stiff Eccles too there, Gerald. I think you called that. He certainly put his body on the line and should have been a free kick there.
Watching that Tony Brown bounce reminded me of Tony Shaw in his heyday bouncing down the ground. Oh, golly. Back in the middle. Trianides ripped to the ground by Costa. And the ball up.
You just think now with Nathan Burke off the ground, this is where Robert Harvey certainly has to lift his game. He's had probably 15 possessions. Costa's done a pretty good job on him.
Tim Elliott's plan appears to be just to jump early and let the ball come to ground and let it be battled and fought for on the grass.
Here's Eccles. He's done very well up towards half forward once again. Johnson's got a hand to it, but that was all. It's pushed towards the line. Smart gives chase. He's under pressure, but so too is Wakeland. Wakeland does shovel it out. Maybe Kane Johnson can manufacture something with a mighty hand pass to Robrin. Yes!
Chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate. Chocolate is chocolate. Chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is Cadbury is chocolate is chocolate is chocolate is Cadbury is chocolate is Cadbury is chocolate. Chocolate is.
Well done, Kane Johnson, as Robrin kicks his first. Back in the middle. Downsborough couldn't win it out. Goes again. The Thompson hand pass to Tony Brown. Gives another one away. Harvey chips towards Trianides. Had it, then lost it. Time to regain and go back to Harvey. Short little chip comes unstuck because Hart dashes through the middle. They can set something up again to half forward, and Robrin thinks about the hand pass. Now he wheels around. Goes long to Smart. Couldn't quite take it. And it'll be a throw in. Needed the mark there.
Yeah, I thought Smart could have made a bit of effort on that occasion there. He certainly got himself out in front there and well clear. I thought the kick was pretty reasonable. Maybe could have got the ball on his chest.
Right forward pocket. The Crows in attack. Wakeland with one hand. And a ball up. The end result. Both sides looking for their second win. The Bulldogs coming over here in round one and upsetting the Premier's opening day plans. St Kilda going to Brisbane. Both regrouped in round two.
Just now you see down here you got Ian Downsborough playing that kick behind the play. When the ball goes inside 50, looks like Matthew Robin does all the ruck work, so they've got a loose man, a kick behind the play the Crows have.
Robin and Elliott. Harvey could have gone high there.
I think he ducked into that one, Sandy. Certainly got him over the neck, but He bent at the knees and dropped his head.
Which would not have made for a pretty sight.
Indeed.
Another ball up. 11 minutes remaining in the third quarter. St Kilda down by 15 points. Robran, Elliott set to do battle. Wakeman over the top. Bickley a chance, couldn't take it. Neither could Harvey. Somehow picks himself up as only he can. Elliott gets boot to ball, gains probably 5 or 6 metres. That's not enough. Rashudo, the big Roo, pops a big kick towards Jarman. Jarman again.
3 for 3.
Aye, we were off for a wee break with the wains and the collar was like a cowp. And would you know about Kennett? Clunk, clunk, clunk. I'm stood there right glaikit with the wains shouting, "Oh, Farah, you ken you're nothing but a big dunderhead." So I skedaddled right into Ultratune and told the laddie about the clunk, clunk, clunk. He says, "Oh, your shock absorbers are out the windy, man," and made a rare job of them. Understood me perfectly, he did.
Jarman, 3 touches for the match, all in this quarter, 3 goals.
Jones down onto the wing onto Eccles, try and eat his out to the half-forward flank. He's been picked up by the Roo.
James got a touch in the middle. Curls.
Yeah, what the viewers can't see, that watching particularly in Melbourne, St Kilda at this stage, in the first quarter they were breaking, they were looking for openings. Right at this stage they're worried about where their Crows people are, and they're not breaking like they were early.
Free kick goes down towards half-forward. Hart drops it. Here's an excellent chance for St Kilda. They're squabbling over it. Should come to Barry Hall, and he will tap it through for a much-needed goal. Good teamwork there by the Saints.
I think also, Neil, that the pressure in the midfield from the Crows has restricted St Kilda from getting the ball into their forward line quickly.
Yeah, I think particularly, Jared, look at Kane Johnson's lifted his game. He's been very, very good in that area. Costas did a pretty good job on Harvey so far. James in the middle as well, and in the ruck, Downsborough now has done a pretty reasonable job taking over from Pittman.
Hall has kicked the goal and he's immediately off. Burke is back on, so maybe that headache isn't too bad, Dipper, which is good news. St Kilda reply, 66-51. Elliott again, a big leap at that ball. Out of the middle, it finishes with James. Good work by Bickley. Down towards half-forward once more. Jarman couldn't take it. The pressure on this St Kilda defence is quite intense now. Young can't control it. It's over the line.
Well, it was a top-class tackle there from Max Hudson.
That would hurt. It's called a handprint. Eccles takes the hand pass, has a hurried one, but it goes straight into the chest of Elliott. At least I hope it was the chest. Harvey running for Aussie Jones is good. He chips up towards left half forward. They almost collide. McLaren and Ben Walton, who's on the ground. The ball finishes over the line.
The Adelaide Crows pressure through the midfield has pushed the St Kilda attacks very wide. They haven't been able to divert their attack back through the middle of the ground, which was the route to some goal scoring for them in the first quarter.
Here's Costa again, picking up the crumbs for the Crows. Down towards centre wing. And over it goes. Matty Young getting a touch.
Just looking at Robert at the moment, he's certainly having a big impact in this game. I just wonder if Daryl Wakeman can maybe be changed. Maybe even the brother Shane to come up and have a crack at him.
On centre wing, we've got 9 minutes in the quarter remaining. Advantage is going to be paid to Aussie Jones. Away he sprints with one bounce. Looks down towards the forward line. They need a mark. They need a couple of goals to come back in. Ben Walton was the target, but Bassett made sure that he wasn't getting a stiff of it.
What, hounded, was he?
Correct. All the way to the kennel. Throw in again. Low, but at the back was Brown. Off he goes to Thompson. It's a high kick into the forward line. Difficult one to mark. Joe McLaren was there. And so too was Ben Hart. One behind. There's Andrew Thompson and Nigel Bassett. Thinks about going short. This could be dangerous. He had to be spot on, and in the end he was. Finding Ian Downsborough right on the line. Johnson offers it short, so too does Rashudo. Pittman's on centre wing with Elliott. And that's the way he heads. The two big men lock arms. That came off Pittman's head. He's got a free kick. Elliott trying to creep a little, incurring the wrath of the Crow fans in front of the members. He goes towards Robin. Johnson's quick here, watch out. Kane Johnson, 52 metres out. Stands back and goes bang towards Nigel Smart. Wakeland cuts across in front of him. Shane Wakeland defends to the line.
Ben Hart coming off the ground. And he's going to be replaced by Brett Burton.
Yeah, the bad news for Crow support. Looks like he's pulled a hamstring here. Benny Hart, of course.
That is bad news, because he's been in superb early form this season.
That's his opponent out in the wing on his own.
Joe McLaren skips away and kicks towards Ben Walton. Bassett leads in the race and will be quite happy to see it over the line.
Good task for Ben Walton. The way that the Saints are playing, pushing all their players up the ground, he's left one out in that forward area. He's up against a pretty handy player in Bassett.
Big weekend of football you're seeing on 7. Hope you're enjoying Sunday night's action. And round 3.
Sure.
Harvey, Costa ripped off the ball, and there'll be another bounce. Umpires are Peter Carey, who's in the veteran class. He was the 92 All-Australian umpire, creeping into the 40s now. Stuart Wen and Vince Serkia, who made his debut just a couple of years ago. Low, looking for Burke. The head was ducked, but it was too high. Another great crowd here tonight. 41,716 are witnessing Robin sneaking into some form.
They're just providing him with so much space at the moment, and the delivery to Matthew Robin has been spot on.
I think he's been watching David Pittman. The kick was a beauty. Finds James.
I just wonder if Matty Young was his opponent on the occasion. Could have about 15, 20 metres away from him. Too much room there. Jeez.
May well have been second guessing the big long talk by Robin to the top of the square.
Brett James trying to become the 9th goal kicker for the Crows tonight, but he's off target, away to the left.
Where do they get the spark from, Doug? The Saints
Stewie Lowe's the man. Gerald's about to say that, matter of fact. He took words out of my mouth. I think Stewie's got to lift his work rate. His first half was reasonable. He's had 7 kicks and 7 marks. He's the man up in their forward line to need to grab the game by the scruff of the neck.
Shane Wakeman, a big kick out. There is Stuart Lowe. 1, 2 grabs. It's his. He's away, but St Kilda. Bassett leads Walton in the race. Walton persists. He's hanging on, and you can't do that. Bassett takes the free and plays on quickly.
It'll be time for Jason Heatley to come back on the ground.
5.5 minutes left in this term. It's been a term that has gone the way of the Adelaide Crows at the moment. Stuart Lowe, free kick on half-back. Chipped short to centre wing. Finds Stephen Ziller. Trianides is off the ground for St Kilda. Coming on is Stephen Baker. Just his 2nd game. Good luck to him. Bassett over the line. Costa sees it safely there, and we've got a throw in.
I think you're spot on there, Jared, with Heatley. If you're going to have him in your side and get him on the ground, okay, he may have struggled a little bit early, but he is a player, a bit like Jarman's got that ability in 5 or 10 minute spurt and kick you 3 or 4 quick goals, so he could be the right option.
Must have been a bit of a risk playing him though today, Doug, because he did get that big gash on the head last week and came off the ground. Maybe he's just suffering a little bit from concussion.
Ziller to Harvey to Brown. St Kilda have it in the middle. Now Stephen Zilla follows it down. 55 out. They need a team lifting goal or a big mark. And Mitchell has taken it 25 metres out directly in front. Kicked a goal in the first quarter, Gavin Mitchell.
Looks like you're spot on here, Jared. Jason Heatley is warming up on the boundary, so he may come on.
Mitchell for his second at this end of the ground. At the moment, the margin is 15 points in favour of Adelaide. Back to 9, and it's still manageable for the Saints. He makes no mistake.
Wednesday on 7, someone will be 10 questions away from $1 million. It could be you if you call now for your chance to play in this major event created especially for 7. Call now and this chance of a lifetime could be yours.
I'm prepared to paint you, but the only problem is, Anna, I've got a couple of little small brushes, which will take me a long, long time to paint you.
I've also done some painting at school, but I only done finger painting.
Live and kicking, Wednesday on 7.
2 goals to Gavin Mitchell. Binky on for the Crows for his first run. And 4.5 minutes left in the quarter. From the centre, the Crows win it out of the middle. Too easy. They rip it through Wingle down towards the forward lane. They need someone going past. Oh, Tyson was there, but he couldn't pick it up. And it's pushed defensively to the line for a throw-in.
Yeah, Heatley the full forward, Jared, and looks like Nathan Bassett's got the job on him.
Dipper.
Kilda have done terrific, Sandy's getting themselves back in this game. And if guys like Gavin Mitchell and some of the boys like Tony Brown can get their ball skills going, I think they can get back in this game.
Aussie Jones gave that a little throw. Wanted a big one. Trying to be kind. And the skipper, Mark Bickley.
Fair purchase on Aussie there, did the skipper.
Fair comment, Jared. Mark Bickley then for the quick answering goal. Going into the square, big pack of players, and Tim Elliott is there to take the safe mark.
Just looking at Stephen Baker playing only his second game. He's been picked up by Mark Rashuda. What's going through the kid's mind at this stage?
He'll be saying, thanks, coach. Mitchell flicks it out wide to Brown. Tony Brown chips towards centre wing and Aussie Jones. Another one to Mitchell. They continue to chip it around. Now he goes longer. This is dangerous for Elliott. Very dangerous, because look who's intercepted. The Master McLeod to Kane Johnson. Too easy, and Johnson will have a shot. 35 metres out.
And that's the danger area for the Crows. Malcolm Blight often has a go-to area in his forward line. And you knew there that Eccles, that Johnson knew the ball was going to be kicked into that position. We saw Robran go to that spot only a couple of seconds ago. And Eccles just, in fact, it was McLeod just bombed it into that area. Johnson on the end of it.
From 40 metres, Kane Johnson. Stunned silence greets her behind.
It's always open, that spot here at Football Park. And Malcolm Blight, who has played in the midfield, obviously as a ruck rover, knows that you need somewhere to go when you're under pressure.
Shouldn't miss goals from out there, 35, 40 metres.
Low at the back of the pack. He was 4 deep. Jones, clever hand pass, got the call from Robert Harvey. That was clever. Up towards left half for the diving Joe McLaren. Couldn't take the mark. And Burton ambles away. He's a cool customer. Looks towards Andrew Eccles. Bickley is there to assist him, and he does it well. Then gets the hand pass clear. Tyson tried to take them all on. Matthew Young comes through, gets it across to Justin Peckett. Chips it high towards centre wing. It's wide, and Burton lunges at the line. Didn't really matter in the end because it went out on the full, and he'll bring it back.
Doug, some positive signs here for Aussie Jones.
Certainly, Jared, the last probably 2 or 3 minutes, got a couple of important touches for him. And we saw him early in the second quarter kick 2 goals. So, I mean, yeah, very good, promising signs for him.
The Crows by 10 points. Burton heads towards the 50. Waiting down is Thompson for St Kilda. Andrew Thompson puts it towards centre wing. James got a touch to it. Pittman will do the roving at the back. Mitchell's got him covered. Pittman does well to flick it out, and he got a shove, says the umpire at the same time.
Yes, it's against Mitchell, and he's going to the big fellow Pittman, but that's the sort of tackling I was talking about earlier with Gavin Mitchell. He is tenacious in his defensive skills.
Bassett takes it on the outer side. Robert in front of the eyes, 70 metres from home. I'd love to see him let go at all. A huge monster.
He heard you.
And away we go. Into the square. Burton, the athletic flyer. And there should be a ball up right in the square.
He's kicked it about 70 metres here, Robert, that big torpedo. And Jesse's ability to get over the ground so quick for a big man, he just seems so fast. He found probably 10 metres on Darryl Wakely on that occasion, just too quick.
10 points still the margin. Elliott over the top. Thompson defends. That's a penetrating kick towards half-back. Peckett had to get through, and he did, but look out because the room is there. Oh, he's gone! He's gone!
Once again, St Kilda being caught out by having so many men forward of the ball. Justin Peckett looked up, nowhere to go to, but you can't break tackles in footy at the moment.
Robert again. This time a little closer.
Give him the call, Sam.
I think he's starting to tease the crowd. Let one go. And see what you can do.
He'll be drop punt this time.
Keep your eye out for Burton.
He's going again. Doesn't get onto it. In towards a full forward. Elliott at the back of the pack. Comes away for the Saints, going to the outer side. Eckel uses the body on Jones. That'll be interesting to see what happens. Robert somehow got boot to ball. That was clever. Down towards Costa, who's running out of room. And they're running out of time as Matthew Young handballs towards the line. It's three-quarter time. Big quarter by the Adelaide Crows. They've come right back into this game. And St Kilda now, in the final quarter, find themselves playing catch-up footy. If they're going to come to Adelaide, steal 4 premiership points and sneak back across the border. Can they do it?
Well, if they are, they're going to have to find a multiple goal kicker. And Jason Heatley hasn't really been on song today. And since Pittman has gone on to Stuart Lowe, he really has nullified him. But you'd imagine that they're the two players that would need to get a couple of shots in front of goal and perhaps keep a couple of gentlemen on screen relatively quiet for the next 30 minutes.
The Rolls Royce is cruising at the moment. 3 in that term. Adelaide 10-8. St Kilda 8-10 as we take a break.
Next Sunday.
You love having the power of God at your fingertips.
Imagine if the world's deadliest weapon fell into enemy hands. And what if the enemy turned out to be one of your own?
You're out of your mind. Ain't it cool?
What would you do?
We got ourselves a broken arrow. Broken what? That's what we call it when we lose a nuclear weapon.
John Travolta and Christian Slater.
I don't know what the big deal is. I really don't.
The action premiere.
I say, God damn, what a rush.
Broken Arrow, next Sunday on 7.
All around the world, mankind has traveled by the stars. And now, with Ansett Australia as a member of the Star Alliance network of airlines, you can travel by the stars, all around the world.
What would put you in front of your own home? A home loan rate of 5.19%. From Bank SA.
Budget has the trucks, the boxes and trolleys you need, so you can move your own way.
It's your birthday next week.
You remembered.
It says here we'll be eligible for a 10% discount on our home and motor insurance policies.
Ask about SGIC's 10% discount for customers over 55.
I told Mum and Dad we should really be connected to the internet. I told them that if we called OneNet, you know, OneTel's internet company, we could send emails to Nana and Papa, surf all the cool internet sites and keep up to date with the latest news.
For just $29.95 a month, you get 56 hours access to the internet. Surf the net with OneNet, OneTel's internet company. Call 1300 303 312.
It was so simple. I reckon most adults could do it.
Bugger.
Ooh, bugger me. Bugger. Easy now, son. Ooh, bugger. You burn.
Bugger.
Bugger.
Welcome back to a very picturesque football park here in South Australia on Sunday night on 7. News from the ground from Neil Curley. The wind has picked up and may be favouring St Kilda in this final term. And there you can see the scoreline. Perhaps they'll need it. They're down by 10 points at the moment. Adelaide with a 6-goal comeback third quarter. 10-8-68 leading St Kilda 8-10-58. News also from Dipper. He's been keeping an eye on Robert Harvey and feels he may have a wrist problem. We'll just have to wait and see on that. But the scene is set, gentlemen, for a titanic final quarter.
And I think it comes down to winning the ball out of the centre. If the Crows go forward easily out of the centre, they're going to win this game by 5 or 6 goals. If St Kilda can do the reverse, then I think they're in with a big chance. They need a lift from the likes of Thompson. A lot of people back at home, all St Kilda supporters will be pleased to see Nathan Burke starting this quarter in the middle of the ground, and Tony Francis also.
I wonder if we can quickly go down to Curls and Dipper for any late news. Curls?
Yeah, well, actually, a bit of late news. You've got something to say?
Yeah, Darryl Wakel's also off the ground for St Kilda. Robert Harvey is on the ground. The doctors were checking his ribs. I can certainly tell he was grimacing every time the doctor touched his rib, but I'll check on Wakel in a moment.
Yeah, the only injury for the Crows is hard, but interesting discussion then with Malcolm Blight. He was virtually asking information from some of the senior players and then working off that. It was a strange discussion.
Also, the St Kilda boys know exactly what to do. They all know they're going to get that first goal, and this ball-up's got very important, especially Tim Gunner doing quite well on the run.
Barry Hall going back to centre half back, pick up the dangerous Matthew Rock and letting him know that he's going to be there.
He certainly is. This is going to be a big final quarter at Football Park. The home side, the defending champions, by 10 points. First goal of vital. First whip out of the middle, just as important. Goes the way of the Crows, down towards half forward. And a good mark taken here by Brian Benke.
Saints would be disappointed, Elliott. A great leap, got his hand on the ball first, but just missed the target.
Benke taking plenty of time. Now goes long, up towards half forward, up towards Rugran. And he's outpointed Barry Hall to take the grab. 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Terrific mark on this occasion here by Robert. I mean, he's been the guy, certainly, as Jared did say, their midfield has got on top of the St Kilda side, but he's given plenty down there at centre-half forward, either marking out in front or marking like that out in front of himself there. Strong mark.
You can see him working into some form midway through that second quarter. The hustle and bustle is fine, but if he jails this one...
Which he does. Great start for the Crows in the final quarter.
Really good big Barry back in the box, and now up to Barry Hall to get a couple of important possessions to make amends.
Certainly does, Jared. Now, he's kicked 2 goals, Robert. As I did say a minute ago, he's been the guy certainly down there forward line, gave him something to kick to. But on the other hand, you look at the St Kilda forward line, you see Stuart Lowe's being forced to certainly come up the ground and to give him something out the centre. Absolutely getting flogged here, no doubt, the Saints. As you said before, they've got a lift there. Young Thompson, Francis, Burke. I'd probably start Robert Harvey in the centre bounce and maybe take Tony Francis out.
Well, Burke's in there now. Let's see what happens in the middle. It's a bounce that favours Downsborough, but he pushes it down the throat of Burke. Chips a kick up towards Lowe at half forward. Appeared to get a shove. Elliott comes over the top, but his hand pass goes straight to Eccles. He pokes it out wide. They give chase. James leads in the race. Francis has got his hammer. Good work by McLeod, though, to do a bit of shepherding work. Then he got a bad bounce. Francis is at the bottom of the pack.
Well, he's a little bit lucky there, I think, Tony Francis, because he dived all over that one. Girls.
He was suspended. Yeah, Sandy, last week the two poorest players for the Crows were Robran and Eccles. Tonight, they're both starring.
Two of the best, aren't they? Yep. Thompson holds it for a considerable time. So too Costa, but there's no way he can get away from Aussie Jones.
Just reckon Barry Hall's got to be a little bit careful here at the minute. He's certainly giving Rob a bit of a push around. The umpire's right under him. Just be very careful. Paulie.
On centre wing. May come down there shortly, but not if Aussie Jones has anything to say with it. He gives it to Burke. Goes towards the other end of the ground, towards Stewart Lowe territory. Maybe only momentarily. Here's McLeod. Cruises back in towards the centre. Good performance by Wintle. Down towards half forward. Binky almost did it with the one hand and almost did it very well. The Tyson hand pass is going to be okay. In towards full forward. Binky is there. There's a couple of them there. It should be a goal. Robran, Binky, right on the line. He's kicked it.
Tuesday, when a man becomes trapped,
It's killing me.
just hang in there. They will go head to head over a matter of life and death.
There's something you're not telling me, isn't there?
Don't you think we owe him the truth?
We owe him our best efforts.
All Saints Tuesday on 7.
Could one of her own family be a killer?
He told me he wanted revenge.
The search for the truth will push Maggie over the edge.
You think you know what's best for me better than I do. I hate that.
A gripping Blue Healers, Wednesday 8:30 on 7.
A big goal to Brian Binky. A big goal for Adelaide. 12-8 plays, 8-10. Tim Elliott. Tough ask now for Nathan Burke and his men. Trinides over the top to Mitchell. If it sits, he'll be in business. Just tries to flick it over the top because he had Tyson Edwards charging towards him. Tony Brown picks it up 55 out. Tries to sneak back onto the left. Now finds Mitchell. Mitchell needs to kick a goal. It's bending back, but not nearly enough, and one behind. Kicked 2 goals at the other end of the ground, Gavin Mitchell. They need him now to be on target. It was a goal. Jared, you're a little concerned.
It was a line ball, but I think correct weight was given by the umpire.
Great call. No problem at all. James on the outer side. In front of the smaller scoreboard here at Football Park.
Good signs for the Crows. 9 goal scorers out of their 12 goals, so that's good for them.
Kicking a very important one into a slight breeze too. Up towards centre wing, to a congested centre wing. Ball was in the pack. It's socket off the ground. Peckett has it taken out of his hands. It's going to be a free kick. It'll come back. It's going the way of the Crows. Starting to roll for the Crows at the moment. Skipper Bickley, just forward of centre wing. Towards Andrew Eccles. Got a hand to it. McLaren now pounces on him. Takes the hand pass. Back it comes to Peckett. Justin Peckett hugs the boundary line. Pittman could have given a shove. Now the big man's got to get his skates on as he goes towards the line and then soccers it over. There will be a throw-in on the outer wing. Crowd of 41,716. I don't think one has moved at the moment. An enthralling struggle. It's not over yet. Heatley's on the ground, but couldn't do anything. Tony Francis, a snap at goal by Tony Francis. This is the one that St Kilda needs to stay in the game, and he's got it. Francis gets his first. The Saints hang on.
Important goal by St Kilda. They're a big man short at the present time with Darryl Wakeland going off the ground. We've seen in the first 3 weeks of Tim Watson's career as a coach that he likes to have 3 tools up on the forward line. Stewart Lowe struggling to really have a major impact at the moment with Pittman. Barry Hall now, who was pretty good in the first quarter down at centre-half back. So they're going to have to almost invent their goals, Doug.
They certainly do, Jared, no doubt. There's a midfield really up to lift there. Harvey, unique sort of type of guy. Berkey's a little bit crook. He's got to lift his game as well.
Back to a 15-point margin. Wintle tries to take it out of the middle. He's ridden into the ground by Jockey Francis.
suppose both coaches would be throwing up every option in their mind, but Trianides was pretty good on the wing early, but we've seen him kick some goals as a full forward, and maybe he's worth a try down in the goal square.
Elliott wins it. Burke disentangles himself from the bottom of the pack.
Saints 8 goal kickers out of their 9 goals, so plenty of share in the footy around their forward line.
Plenty of time left for them to get up if they're good enough here at Football Park. Elliott again gets his hands to it first. Costa, kick partly smothered, shoveled out, they'll go again.
Desperation.
Look at that. It's like making a salad sandwich, one on top of the other.
Like, I'm sure the Saints supporters wouldn't mind somebody getting selfish and kicking 3 or 4 in a row.
Smart is on the sidelines, sent to come back on.
They need the next goal, Gerard.
Elliott, Bickley, proppy hand pass, and Matthew Young is claimed by Costa, going nowhere. Crucial time now. Elliott wins it again. Here's an opportunity. Bickley in towards goal.
That's home.
That's a big goal. A big kick by the skipper. His first. But it could be a telling one. 13-8 plays 9-11.
He has been a top player for them all night.
He certainly has, you no doubt about that. Pickle's their midfield, have been forced to play Mark Rashudo down in the back line. He's been soundly beaten there by young Damien Ryan for the Saints. Did a ripper job. So him out of the play, Bickley's one of the guys had to put his hand up. He's been terrific, so is McLeod in the midfield as well.
Individuals have kicked goals for the Adelaide Crows. A couple of multiples, Jarman and Robran. Out of the middle, it's Mitchell defending for St Kilda. Critical times now for the Saints. He goes towards Stuart Lowe, can't take a mark. Tyson Edwards just drifts across the back and gives it to McLeod. He comes wide towards Pinky. Been pretty impressive since coming onto the ground. Waste no time this time. That's a great kick. Kim Costa just taken round on a slightly tighter angle, but he's going to be kicking from 43 metres, and this could well be a big nail in the St Kilda coffin.
Been terrific tonight, Kim Costa. Now 2 weeks in a row. Last week with Shane Crawford, the captain of Hawthorn, and tonight with Robert Harvey.
Here's the Costa kick, going slightly right behind. '87 plays 65, 22 points. Thompson at half-back to Francis. Francis comes very, very wide. Too wide for Trianides. Frustration for the number 32.
Got to go more direct now. When you're behind like this, you've got to go straight down the middle of the ground, not going out wide like that.
The throw in again. St Kilda need a couple of quick ones. Downsborough tries to win it down to Bickley. He's slung as he gets his kick. Wakeland towards Francis, who continues to work hard. Had very little room in which to work there and did it well. Trianides' kick was beautifully smothered. Well done. Smart steals it from the back door. He'll pump it high and long. In towards full forward. They need a mark. Could be interference. But no, play on is the call. James tries to bend one back, but not far enough. 3 behinds to Brett James for the evening. This was a great smother, Dougie.
Oh, great smother by Brett Burton. Excellent smother. I mean, caught the ball in mid-flight. Normally you take it off the boot. He caught it probably 5 or 10 metres off the boot. Good play by him.
Young, straight down the middle. Downsborough, the big fist down towards Tyson. Kicked it very smartly, perhaps a little too quickly. Got underneath it. Peckett was there to take the mark. Goes wider to Young on the outer side. Look at that. I'll tell you what, he is a mover, this boy.
This kid can play a bit.
Burton on the outer side. Go back and let one go. Again, only a couple of steps.
50 metres. free kick against Darren Jarman, so it'll go back to where Burton had that free kick. Darren Jarman must have been
holding on
to Maxie Hutchinson.
Tony Brown to take it then on the halfback flank. Burton on the mark. Under 12 minutes remaining. 23 points is the margin. Elliott. Croppy hand pass. Thompson's kick down towards left half forward. They need a goal badly. Over the head of Walton it goes. Harvey and Francis both go for it. McLeod sneaks away, but there's been a whistle. St Kilda free kick. Is it going to the Brownlow medalist? Harvey plays on quickly. McLeod can't get there in time. And Stephen Ziller takes the mark.
Didn't want to see that free kick again to Robert Harvey. I thought it may have been a little bit lucky there. Kim Costa, the ball was in Robert Harvey's hands, and he was dragged, and then the ball came loose, but very lucky.
He must be in trouble because he's running from the ground, Rob Harvey.
It is again here. Oh, wasn't much in it.
Big kick for Stephen Ziller and St Kilda. This to keep them alive, and he's gone way across the face and has just stuck into behind. His third. So he hasn't been on target tonight and still yet to kick a goal. 88 plays 66. Here comes Bassett. Johnson sets himself. Elliott is at the back. He trapped it well, the big man, then held on to it for a long time. Downsborough kicked into the man on the mark. Burke could have given away a free kick. No, said the umpire.
He's hard at the ball, Kim Costa. Been great tonight.
Elliott again. Slaps it to accommodate Tony Brown. He needs to kick a goal. And he does for St Kilda. So maybe that can keep them alive.
With its powerful 3-litre V6 engine and easy select 4-wheel drive system, the Mitsubishi Challenger is perfect for the wide open spaces.
And thanks to its power steering, tight parking spaces.
Alloy wheels.
Dual airbags.
Power windows.
Air conditioning. And from $38,990, it's the best value medium-sized V6 all-terrain vehicle
by a country mile.
Mitsubishi Challenger.
The best of both worlds.
It is Mitsubishi.
Again, St Kilda cuts the margin. We're back to 16 points. Plenty of time. Shocking bounce. Costa out of the middle. Jared hangs his head. That's a gutsy mark by Nathan Burke, running with the flight of the ball. But that epitomises the St Kilda skipper. Short to Walton. Had it spent a fraction too early, but he's got time. Walton, penetrating kick up towards the 50. Tyson Edwards. Loses it to Mitchell. Mitchell will give it to Peckett. St Kilda are still alive. He goes over the top, and suddenly Stephen Ziller's got another one. Ziller breaks the...
Paging, Dr. Elliott.
Hi. Listen, I'm really sorry about what happened. Is there anything I can do to help get your car back on the road?
Well, with Amy, they're taking care of everything.
Quotes?
Done.
Repairs?
Done.
Good quality?
Guaranteed for the life of the car, even if I sell it.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess you don't need me then. Have a nice day.
A free service that takes care of all your post-crash running around. Call Amy now.
You're with Amy.
Never does.
Say what you mean, Curls.
Sitting on the fence is good.
Like no one else. But that was a perfect bounce. Out of the middle, it's Nigel Smart who takes the hand pass. He's got a chance to go long here, not so. And he does with a couple of bounces. Puts them well inside 50 with a flat-looking punt, but to whom and to where? Into the pocket. There's no one home at the moment. Young picks it up for Hodgson. Hodgson gives it away to Barry Hall, who bustles his way to the half-back line and kicks it towards Trianides. He goes over centre wing. Not a good kick. Tyson Edwards has been good tonight. Edwards is in trouble. Somehow he gets clear of three of them. Kicks towards left half forward. Some holding on going on there. Rodman, Hall. Hall gives it off to Burke. Burke to Trianides. This is
Good handball.
Just about seal it. Francis caught, and could be gone. Play on. The advantage is paid. Burton goes long, down towards full forward. Bickley's lurking there. No one able to pick it up. Binky was at the bottom. Bickley goes again. Jarman is cruising, waiting his opportunity. Peckett gets it wide. They steady it down. Elliott chips it to Brown, and he's at half back.
Had a couple of important possessions in the last 5 minutes, Tony Brown. They've got to go down the corridor. Time is against them.
Tried to go, but was legged. Now they go straight down the middle. Mitchell was the target. Ziller is there also. Let's see what the defence can do. Mitchell a perfect pick-up, almost. Ziller the hand pass. Stuart Lowe's got to try and bend it back in towards full forward. The mark is taken, however. And Jason Heatley spent a lot of time on the bench. Wants to...
Umpire's called time off,
he's
so
got to come
back and take his kick.
Coming back. He wanted to lessen the angle.
Was that Andrew McLeod then it jumped up? He jumped pretty recklessly in that occasion there. Could have been a better attempt, that's the words I'm trying to use, Gerard, there.
Well, if he kicks this one, it's going to be a pretty important centre bounce next time, Curls.
10 points the margin at the moment.
Sneaking around.
Check side. 9 points the margin.
Well, Ozzie Jones is just the sort of player that can come on and bag a goal. He's got the pace, he's got the skill. Maybe it's time to throw him on for the last couple of minutes.
To bring it back.
Sorry, Sandy. Both sides 10 goal kickers.
Elliott! Oh! Higher than Sergei Bubka, but no mark. And the ball up. Dipper, you look composed on the boundary line.
I certainly am, Sandy. I'm sitting in front of the St Kilda bench here. Robert Harvey came off, as we saw. He has his left leg bandaged very heavily. It looks like he's put a hamstring there, so bad news for St Kilda. But exciting game from down the boundary line.
Oh, this is an exciting game from up here. Tony Brown goes into the open goal. He's scragged, and he kicks it behind.
Great work, Johnson. He's been a star tonight.
Looks like Brown's done a hamstring too, I reckon.
Might have even been Burton.
I think it was. I think it was Burton. Downsborough takes the mark. And he's at half-back. It was Burton. But this is Downsborough.
2 gettable shots at goal from St Kilda. They are going to rue their inaccuracy at the end of the match.
8 points the margin. It's not over yet, G. Don't worry about that. Stuart Lowe, a big leap. He saw Tim Elliott and he thought, I can do better than that. The Pittman hand pass to Costa, finishes with Kane Johnson. Johnson to Nigel Smart. Now they're away. Smart gives it off to Tyson. He can go all the way. 55 metres out from goal. Shoots away to the left, and it's another behind. 9 points the margin. Ozzie Jones is standing by to come onto the ground.
Called it again, Gerard, beautifully.
Well, I think it's a pretty straightforward decision to get Ozzie Jones on. He is a classical match winner. Tony Brown just coming off the ground. We saw his pace just let him down only a second ago.
Shane Wakeman takes the kick in. Nathan Burke is running for him. Should be free kick. He's got the free kick on centre wing, Dipper.
Yeah, looks like Tony Brown's also hurt his hamstring, as Dougie said, so their bench is not moving that well at the moment.
Burke goes short. Now trying to set something up. Ryan towards half forward, a penetrating kick. Ziller off the ground. This is dangerous times now as another one is wide. And we've got a throw in the right forward pocket, Curls.
Sandy, you've got to admire St Kilda. They were down and out a while back, but they're giving it everything they've got now.
Yep, dead right there. It's in their right forward pocket. The margin is 9 points favouring the Crows. Big game on Sunday night on 7. Elliott a little too far underneath it. Nigel Smart cuts across, tries to lock it up, but it's kept in play by Ryan. Centering kick a little too far, goes over the top of the pack. Ziller gives chase. McLeod is right there with him. Well done, Ziller. He's beaten 1, he's beaten 2. Tries to check side it back in towards goal. Walton almost completed a mighty mark. Not to be, however, and it's a turnover as the Crows come towards Rashido at half-back. He'll steady it down. He goes to the outer side, almost caught James napping. This could be interesting here because McLaren is there as well. Joey cuts across, goes back to Stephen Zilla, covering plenty of territory on that outer side. They keep it in play through Baker. The long kick in towards goal is wide, and it's another behind. Their opportunities are there. They haven't taken them at the moment.
I think Mark Rashudo would be sighing with relief there that wasn't a goal, because he had two free Crow players out on centre wing. And the kick went in between the two of them, and there was a turnaround. But they've got to take one of these opportunities yet, Doug.
They certainly do, Jared. And whatever happens in this game, I think Tim Watson will be absolutely great the way his players have been committed. They've been fantastic.
Johnson takes the kick in. That's a good kick too to Rashudo at half-back.
Trying to slow it down, but it's probably a little bit early in the piece for that.
8 points the margin. We've still got just under 5 minutes remaining. Anybody's game here at Football Park. Low, Pittman, neither able to mark. Low, quick to recover. Here's an opportunity. Costa was held. Play on for Tyson. Takes his kick. It's high and it's long and it's Becky. He has kicked one already in this quarter, and he could go a long way towards sealing this match.
Looked like it just fell into his arms. That one there, he didn't even realise. There it is again. Shane Waken got caught under the football. Max Hudson had an arm wrestle there with Darren Jarman. The ball just popped over the top.
Beaky for his second. Goes across the face of goal and will be lucky to score with that. No addition to the score, 4 minutes left. Hall brings it back. A little bit of urgency in that kick from Barry. To the outer side, Ryan tumbling a punt along the ground for most of the way. Gains 35 metres. Almost round to centre wing.
The Saints must get a goal shortly. Yep. They've got to score a couple of times to win.
Downsborough does the work from behind. Tries a little toe poke towards Rashudo. Here's an opportunity now. Oh no, that was an excellent tackle. And then Smart comes in again on Joey McLaren. Locked up at centre wing. Jarman has 3 for Adelaide. Robrin has 2. They're the multiple scorers. Gavin Mitchell is the only multiple scorer for St Kilda. Nathan Burke, the hand pass is okay. Time's starting to run against them. They need a quick goal. Stuart Lowe unable to take the mark. What can he do? Tries to butter up again. Aussie Jones goes in, pushes the ball into the pack, and it's going nowhere.
Boys letting a few free kicks go begging. Gavin Mitchell was just dragged out of the contest on that occasion. Turned around, appealed for the free, but none was given.
Just forward of centre for the Saints. Lowe couldn't take it. Costa could have been held. Down inside 50 now for St Kilda. But only for a moment. Bingley shows determination. He's had a great game, Tyson Edwards. Sensational game tonight.
Jeez, it was an important contest.
To Eccles on the outer side. Andrew Eccles looks up towards Binky again. Certainly making his presence felt. James too has been pretty good all night. Sweeps the hand pass inboard. Can the Roo pick it up and have a crack at goal? It's a high floating kick. And it's a mark at the back to Robrin.
It was a class act in by Mark Rashudo. He's had a pretty ordinary night, but he kept his cool, stayed disciplined, and he put it in the right spot for Matthew Robrin, who's just outpointed Barry Hall on a couple of important occasions.
And he got caught under the ball, Barry Hall. He maybe could have pushed back a little bit harder. Easy to save me, Jared.
Good to hear.
Robrin for his third. And he's got up. The Crows could well be home.
Here's a family who wants to enhance their outdoor living area and add value to their home with a new deck and garden. And here's the mitre 10 specialist.
40-tooth blade, the more teeth on the blade, the finer the cut. So the tooth is...
What was that?
From the store that understands it's not just the low price, it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
Dad, my cup of tea!
What's here?
The mountain truck!
He started slowly, Matthew Robran, but he has stormed into this game and certainly left his mark on it with 3 telling goals. Elliott has tried hard all night for the Saints. Johnson can't get it out of the middle. It's Mitchell for St Kilda. Well smothered by Nigel Smart. Looking to close it out now with just over a minute remaining.
Tony Francis has come off the ground and he's been replaced by Darryl Wakeland, who I suspect has got a bit of an injury himself, but the St Kilda bench has just run out of options.
Elliott again wins it with the left hand. Costa has been very, very good. Holds it for a long time. Gives it to James. It's going to come back.
I think their last chance here, Jared Stewart-Lowe's got to be inside 50. He's no good being up the ground getting the ball there. He's the man that's got to try and kick him a couple of goals.
Not a good bounce. Elliott gets a hand to it. Smart tries to get a boot to it. James gets it out to Eccles. Andrew Eccles goes goalwards. Pushes it to the left for behind. The Crows are going to notch their second win.
Good luck on the boats here, Jared. Hard job, mate, tonight.
It is tough. Oh, this kick out is dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. Nigel Smart. Proppy hand pass is going to sit Matthew Young towards the line, and it's over. And it is just about over for St Kilda. But very, very gallant here tonight. Both sides have had a number of very good players. Tyson Edwards has been excellent. Robran has been a major influence, especially in the second half.
I'll tell you what, Tim Elliott has done an outstanding job in the ruck.
Yeah. I think James has done a pretty good job for Adelaide as well. Barry Hall running with the flight of the ball takes a gutsy mark. That could be the last kick for him for the night as he goes towards half-back. It's all over. The Crows have won a thriller. The eventual margin, 15 points. Three goals to Darren Jarman. 3 goals to Matthew Robran. Tyson Edwards, big game from him. Very happy with his performance, no doubt.
Reasonable stats from Darren Jarman. Very efficient. 3 kicks, 3 goals.
3 goals. Umpires copying the rounds of the table from Crow fans as they leave the arena.
Probably a winnable game there for the Saints. They could have snatched victory there.
Let's go down to the ground. Dipper.
Yeah, thanks very much, Sandy. Well, Nathan, unfortunately, just couldn't get over the line. It's a terrific last quarter effort there. It was a good effort, but we really needed it to make up for the third, which was very poor. And we had our chances, we had our shots, but we just didn't make most of them. And bad kicking's bad footy. Yeah, yourself, you got yourself a bit of a heavy knock tonight. What was the situation there? Oh, just a bit of a knock, and it just makes it a little bit tough to see for a bit, but it came good and come on in the second half. I just thought Tim Elliott tonight was just terrific in the ruck there tonight. Yeah, virtually did it by himself, and they got some big fellas and just jumped in them all night. So he was very good, and Timmy's just going to get better and better. Well, thanks for joining us, and Neil Curley, you got somebody there?
Yeah, thanks very much, Tip. Well, Tyson, that last quarter got a bit tight.
Yeah, it sure was. It was a very close game. It was close all night, and yeah, they played pretty well, but they come back at us pretty good, but we were lucky enough to sneak away.
Malcolm had to throw the side around a bit, and Pittman onto low was a good move.
Yeah, Pitto did pretty well. He's been in pretty good form, Pitto, and they certainly cut out Lowy a fair bit. He played a good game last week, Stewie Lowe, so it's good to cut him out.
1 quarter out of D. Jarman, 3 valuable goals.
Yeah, he turns it on the right time. Then he bloody asked for a bit at half-time from Jars, and he certainly produced the goods.
3/4 time, Malcolm seemed to be getting some feedback from the players.
Yeah, I think he just asked a few of the boys a few questions of what was going on out there. He probably couldn't see what was happening as close as what the boys were, so just asked for a bit of feedback.
Well played yourself, a valuable 4 points. Back to you, Sandy.
Thank you, Curls. It was well played by Tyson Edwards. A good team performance by the Adelaide Crows in a tight one. Not a lot in it all night till they're able to sneak away, but overall, Jared, a pretty good team performance.
Yeah, I think by both sides. Sandys, as Nathan said, the Saints missed a lot of opportunities, but they were created through a lot of gutsy hard work in the middle. And I think full credit to the Crows also, because they were challenged by a very, very good side here tonight. Malcolm Blight would be very pleased to get away with the points after not having all that many scoring opportunities in the final quarter. But I'm sure he'd be very impressed with the form of Edwards, and I think Eccles had a very good game tonight. They have also got some injury problems, and I think that accentuated the requirements of a number of their players to lift in that second half. Ben Hart, of course, went off with an injury, but I think delighting him most would be the improved form of Matthew Robran, who really just built the game today.
And again, Jared, we're able to see the depth with players like Darryl Whittle coming into the lineup and perform like a seasoned campaigner at this level.
Yes, they've got a number of pretty smart young kids coming through. But very tough to win here at Football Park. The Saints almost snagged it, but just too good were the premiers of the last 2 years.
41,500 fans, many of them saying well done to their Chargers. Robran, one of the last ones in with Costa, and you've got to be impressed by the man on the right wearing number 24, Brett Burt.
Yeah, he's a high flyer. They advertised for someone to fill the role of Tony Modra since he went west. And we haven't actually seen the best of him yet, but I think he may be the man. But David Pittman has to be one of the most versatile big men the game has seen for many years.
He's been great. I mean, being labelled the most pathetic ruckman in the competition. I mean, without Wren, without young, there's a young bloke, he's the young Marsh as well. He's put his hand up. The last 2 weeks he's been terrific for him, and he's taken the game on. I thought he's been great. Big worries there for St Kilda, with Everett, of course, out of the side. How bad's Harvey's injury? I mean, he would have stayed on the ground if it wasn't that bad. Important time of the game for him to go off.
Some concern there.
No singing tonight in the Crows' rooms at the moment, as Malcolm has taken them in for a chat. We're going to take a break, but it's the Adelaide Crows. Victoria's here at Football Park in front of 41,000 fans by 15 points.